Are we moving?
So beautiful.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer.
2020, and then they started appearing themselves coming out of the woods.
November of 2020. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're still here. I hear knocks out there at nighttime. Heard some about 5 nights ago. I was sitting out here in the car. And we also have something clawing at cedar trees. I don't know what that would be.
Which one?
Back here behind the fire.
Okay, okay. I know where that is.
We have...
You can see like the claw marks and the pulls, the scrapes?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have where you can see like a big beast has been sitting on a trail. There's 2 spots out here in the woods. Also have some kind of figure of kind of like a stick man that's behind my old house over here, or behind our old house. We've had thing like orbs floating around a few times.
What about any red eyes?
Red eyes?
Colored eyes that you can
Colored
see.
eyes? I have seen, look like a red eye just shining back off in towards the woods back there. And then I come out and shine my light. And it look like something you can see, something just hunched down back there as you go up the hill up there.
Okay.
I've seen foot tracks, and the ashes are in the fire, and the ashes after. Imagine looking over the trailer that we moved, looking in behind the house.
Okay.
I had something at my bedroom window trying to, I want to say like it was trying to pull my AC window or my unit out.
Okay.
Or it was just tapping on it hard. I believe that's it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Josh. I was going to also say that, you remember that time that me and you went inside the older house, your old house, and we both was in there, you know, looking and listening, and then we heard the walking or the creaking of the movement. So, and also that usually it comes around the house, right?
Yeah.
And then I know it used to go around those hay bales, but now that you moved that, have you noticed that they moved further behind those last hay bales to cross over?
They're further in the woods back there.
Okay, okay. So,
And then that spot I want to show you tonight or tomorrow.
okay.
I feel like we got followed out of there last time I was there. I've seen like a monster track.
yo weta ho ya le ya weta ho ya le ya weta ho ya le yo weta ho ya le yo weta ho ya le ya weta ho ya le ya weta ho ya le yo weta ho ya le yo weta ho ya le ya weta ho ya le ya weta ho ya le yo ale na yo yo ahea ale na yo yo ahea ale na yo yo ahea ale na yaho yo.
También cerquita de nosotros. Yeah.
Yahweh ta ho ya le ho ta ho ya le Yahweh 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 ta Yoahea alena Yoahea alena Yoahea alena Yaho yo.
We'll start with 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That's 2 Timothy 2:15, and we'll pray. Father, we thank you that we are here again, that you give us another new day. We just thank you for all your blessings. We thank you for all the good people you put in our lives. And we thank you for all the rotten people that you take out of our lives. We love you, Lord. We pray your hand of covering over our team, over our viewers, over this channel, over all of our channels and all of our Facebook pages, over everything that you ask us to put our hand to, Lord. We pray for your covering over it. We thank you for it, and we pray your protection over our guest tonight and this situation, and that you will give her the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and that you give us exactly the words that we need to speak. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams, also known as Lead Horse Choctaw. We have 4 Facebook group pages: the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch Antlers and Surrounding Areas, the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Sons Center and Database, the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path page, and also the Lead Tracker E Facebook page. And then we also have the book by the same name of Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path. And we also have this YouTube channel and the Lead Tracker E YouTube channel. And so we invite you to hit like and subscribe to both of those. This is our book, The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path. It's available on Amazon for $25. Right now, for what's left of the month of May, we are having our Bigfoot documentary and this book on sale for both together for $55. That's really a fantastic deal. And it would be an autographed book. Or you can buy the book for full price, $25 on Amazon. But the only place you can get that DVD, which is the documentary that we made, is through us. And if you don't take advantage of this deal, then the prices go back up at the end of May. And thank you to those of you who have already taken advantage of it, and to those of you who've already purchased our book. And yesterday, someone told us again, and we'll be bringing them on as a guest soon, that our book has saved her husband's life, and we can't wait for that conversation that we'll have with them. It's a good feeling, and so we appreciate that, and we appreciate all the wonderful reviews. We have the Tracking Miracles and Encounters page. That's on our series that is on the Lead Tracker E page. We do have some stories gathering up for that, and be sure to set your notifications. That's where we focus on God's hand, especially in the lives of trackers. Divine orchestration and divine. Go ahead.
Sorry.
And we
You
good?
need to come in.
Begin? Okay. Divine orchestration and divine intervention. Let's see. What else?
Tracking miracle. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're done with that. The Tracking Miracles
okay.
and Encounters. Yeah. And also the Standing Feather Stories. We've got a new one coming up about the very early years of Jerry Lead Horse Williams, and where he learned to be a leader, and his other team members learned to be leaders too. That one's coming up. If you love baseball, you will love the stories that will come up on the next Standing Feather Stories. So that's on the Lead Tracker E channel. Like and subscribe to that, and we're also very grateful that we're over 500 viewers on that channel. That's the accompanying channel to this one. They'll have some different things, and they'll have some overlap. Also check on that channel for the playlist for the Standing Feather Stories, and we're starting to get the playlist together on both of these channels to make it easier for you to consecutively watch certain areas.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, with the Standing Feather Stories, that's going to be next Friday night at 7 p.m. We're going to have a couple of guests, some young men who I went to school with. We never had a really sit down and talk about that year. There was talk, but we never sat down and talked about it. So we're going to see how many we can get up together, and because it is a journey, everything with all the places that we've been, finding the information that that dates back to hieroglyphs, manuscripts, sky maps, things like that, ancient history. So we're going to go back a little bit to show a little bit of my history also, as far as the steps that I took and how I was then as to how I am now. But it's kind of the same, I guess you would say. But we're going to play this real quick video so we can show you what to expect for next week. But this also pertains to tonight also, because I am from this area. And so I just wanted to let some of the viewers and some of the guests know, or the guests know a little bit about myself also, so that we can kind of get a little bit more trust, and so we can share everything openly, because we do want to help. But we're going to play this real quick video. Just sit back and enjoy it. It pertains to this, and you'll understand why later. But here we go. I also forgot to mention that one of the best things about that was there was a female, a young lady, older now, but she actually was on our baseball team, the first girl to ever play baseball in Antlers. And our team did so well that um, some of the games, other players had played. So she was actually the first girl to ever start a high school baseball game in Antlers, Oklahoma. So we're going to be talking about that and more things like 5A schools coming to play 3A schools, uh, changing different divisions at that time also, and how this young team, as you've seen, there's probably 12, maybe 13 on that team, something like that. But there are a few more that joined later after basketball season. But for the majority, we had enough to play. But this is also when 5A schools came down and they had buses and buses and buses of people. We had one bus for everybody. It was the long bus, not the short one. So joke goes. So that's Standing Feather Stories next Friday evening. Also, to become a Patreon member to help support the channel. It's for updates, courses, videos, live tracks, meetings, and things like that. Also, Cash App or PayPal helps with the fuel and the cost of things that we do. And if you've been with the channel, you understand that we don't ever charge anybody. We make with the support, with the gas funds and everything, we make our way there, and we do the track and locates or the evaluations. Then we help with the deterrence and let the homeowner know what to expect from here on out. We're going to be talking about this tonight also. This is a tracker channel. It's not a Bigfoot channel. This is a tracker channel. It's not an entertainment channel. Everything here is serious. So it's for, like we're saying, updates, interviews, tracker meetings, training, and our tracker training course for our candidates when we have another course. So it's not an open forum. So we're trying to hold down the conversations. We're trying to have people listen to the interviews or the lessons because it is a tracker channel and we're sharing information with other trackers. Viewers are listening and are here also, but this is a lesson. It's like a classroom, or even the interviews that we have, it's a lesson for everyone. Here's details, here are things going on, and how we either counter that so we can start our deterrence, or if we have to, push them completely out. So no distractions of the guests or the tracker training lessons. We will do the comments right after this, and then if we get time, or if we need a break, or if we get to the point where we need to answer or get some questions answered, we'll stop halfway. And at the end, at the closing, we also take the comments, and we also answer the questions at the end, unless, like in the middle, if the guest wants to answer some questions or take questions, we can do it that way. But at the majority of the time, save the questions for the end and only related to the topic. Like we say, if we're talking about tracking and the tracks and the ridges and what we look for in tracks, and someone asks about frequency, we have other videos on frequencies, translucent, and things like that. So, but we will answer the questions related to the topic or the lesson or the interview, or have the guest answer those questions for you. So we'll do the comments.
But we do love your greeting each other. We love that part of greeting everyone and just making friends that way too. We just, during class, we don't talk.
I also forgot to say that we have monitors here. So like us, they don't want to put up with interference or distractions or even bad language. So if those things pop up, or if people try to start making a conversation and not listening to the interview or the lesson, we have asked our monitors to delete those people and block them so that we can continue with what we're doing.
So don't get mad at the
So,
monitors.
Don't get mad at the monitors. That's what we need done. And now that those are the unpleasantries, now those are over. So we're going to take the comments and then we want to do a quick introduction of our guest, and then we will begin with tonight's lesson. You want to use your phone or you want to use over here?
Well, I better use that because I get ahead of you
Okay.
that way.
Cubinator
Hello, Cubinator.
saying hello to everybody.
Halito is hello in Choctaw.
Mhm,
Oseo is hello in Cherokee.
mhm. Let's see. Warriors and newcomers. Night Stars is here. Tracker Lorna. I don't see your wrench on there, Lorna, so I must have done something wrong.
Trying to make you a moderator.
The only thing they got right here is ban or timeout, so I'm not going to push any of those. Graybeard.
Hey,
Beckett
Graybeard.
Graybeard. All right. Mary. Hey, Mary. There was a tracker meeting the other day, yesterday. Oh, okay.
We talked to her. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
sent her
okay.
the link.
All right, Mary. Catch up
I
on
haven't
that.
had a chance to
and-
read your reply yet, Mary. I saw it came in a little while ago, but haven't had a chance to read it yet. And hello.
And hello. So everybody's saying hello to Mary.
JR. is
JR.
here.
All right.
Very
Truth
funny
Walker. All right.
Truth Walker.
Let's see. Truth Walker. JR. Oh, Tracker Lorna. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorna.
And
I'm sure
she's-
appreciate you.
She's using the tracker, the stickers for PayPal because she can't get into that one. So, but we send Lorna the information in her messenger, everything that we post on PayPal.
War Chief. Did we already
Bob.
say hi to War Chief?
Yeah, we can say hi again.
Hey, War Chief.
How you doing, War Chief?
There's Bob.
Bob
Hey, Bob.
is here. Always good to hear from Bob. Look,
Jody's back.
Jody. All right, Jody. Everybody saying hi to Bob and Jody and Lorna, War Chief.
Good group of people.
Everybody saying hello again.
There's Shauna.
Hey, Shauna. Hey, good. I'm glad you're here because there's some things related tonight that you're going to
Be interested in.
be interested in. Hey, look at this.
Where are we? Hey, Jazzy.
Lyrical
Somebody's
Jazzy.
got a. Somebody's leveling up today, I think.
Uh-oh, is there a birthday going on?
I believe so.
Uh-oh, somebody got a birthday out there I don't know about? If you do,
Level 11.
Send
I
your-
believe.
presents here, and I'll help you open them. Let's see. Shauna. There she goes. Uh-oh.
There we go. I came on real quick to have you on the TV. Mom said no tablets at the dinner table. I'm having my birthday dinner right now. Thanks, Jazzy.
Ah, hey, all right.
Well, happy leveling up day, Jazzy.
Happy leveling up. Uh-oh, look who here.
and
Who's
good
here?
and good mom. And remember that the rule is like if you ever go out to eat somewhere, the first one to get on their tablet or their phone has to pay for the meal. Sherry, glad you're here.
Sherry hit like on the way in, she said.
Sherry wrote the most amazing, inspired poem last week.
I wish
and-
we had it
and
up
just
here.
put up a really nice post, and we really appreciate that, Sherry. Thank you.
Let's see.
Those things make it all worth it.
You sure do.
Uh,
These things make it all worth it, too.
all of it.
Dad made meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn.
Oh, that's a good meal.
Is
That's a
that your
wonderful
favorite?
meal.
Because usually on your birthday, you get your favorite meals.
Thank you to your dad.
I like banaha.
Shauna says I switched out. Sorry, I have dual personality. So
Sorry.
yeah, different account, I think.
One laughs real loud and one laughs kind of quietly. Everybody saying hello to each other. Jazzy's saying hello to everybody. Lorna's saying hello.
Por
Uh-oh.
siempre.
Por siempre.
Por siempre.
One por siempre.
Hi, glad you're here. Welcome.
All right. Everybody's happy about Jazzy's birthday. Sherry's saying hello to everybody. Graybeard saying happy birthday. Everybody likes the birthday. All right.
Mhm.
I think he meant hi, Sherry. There you go, Jazzy's. Everybody's still on the birthday. Everybody Loves the birthday girl. Bob, he says,
Something is clawing at my cedar trees very high up. I have been wondering what has been doing this, question mark. Are you really wondering though?
I don't think
Are you
you're
really wondering, Bob,
I
or
don't
do
think
you
you're
know?
really wondering. I think
We're
you
pretty
know.
sure you know.
Yeah, everybody's saying hello to each other. Lyrical Jazzy is saying, gotta go. I'll be listening.
Okay, good.
Enjoy
talk
that
louder.
meal.
Jerry will talk real loud for you.
Yeah, so you can hear us in the next room. I know our students were saying that. They were saying, yeah, can you tone it down just a little bit? A little too loud.
Used to public speaking.
With no amplification.
Cube says our upstairs neighbor is Bob, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or the downstairs neighbors running around
Climbing
on
up
the
to
second
the top.
floor.
Yeah.
Shauna says this chat isn't moving. Did I break it?
Oh. Well, if it does, well, at least we got somebody to blame. We can always say,
Yeah, there we go. Yes, you did,
yes,
Shauna.
you did. It's not us.
War Chief says, no, Shauna, this channel is much different than others. We actually listen to learn and then ask questions later.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, look
she
at Jody.
Get the spiel today. Hey, Jody. Thank
you
you very much.
Jody. Yeah, I can't wait till the funds come in for next month because Jody gave us enough so that we can get the an extra phone that we can use for the drone. And we already got plans for that. And we already know what we're going to get with that. So thank you, Jody.
That'll make us safer too, really.
Yeah,
we can
go
over
cover
some areas that
and get on the backside and come back in.
We
safely.
got the drone, we just didn't have a way to program it or to use it. So thank you very much,
Thank
Jody.
you again for that, Jody.
Shauna says, sorry, War Chief, I got confused there for a minute. I got back on track.
All right. And everybody with the amens for the prayers. And War Chief says, oh, yeah, baseball. War Chief, he was a player.
Oh, he was a star.
He was a
Star player for sure.
He still is.
Yes.
Even on our team.
You bet.
All the trackers
right,
are. All
right.
the trackers
That's why
are.
he is a War Chief.
And I'll guarantee you, very soon you're going to see a new line of videos coming out that we're all expecting, and a young lady's going to be doing some. Some video work to. It's going to be wonderful. We'll talk about that soon. Lee Tracker E is saying hello to everyone. Welcome.
War Chief's tomahawk is sharp as always.
Laser sharp tonight. And Lorna, we tried, but I don't know. Maybe I got the name wrong or something, but I thought.
If we fool with it right now, we might end up booting you from the room because the only options it shows is to hush you for a minute or hush you permanently.
Yeah. And so Lorna will be a monitor for us as soon as we can get all that worked out. We thought we had it done today. Rogue status.
Hey, Rogue, how you doing? Says evening, folks. Good to see you. Good to see you too.
Cubinator's got his battle axe sharpened and ready for blood. He said, "Uh-oh."
Cube fusses with people all day in his world in Australia, and then he comes in here ready to swing.
Ready, saying nobody's fussing in this
swing
room.
That battle axe. Shauna says one for the art room and one for the living room. LOL. Okay.
All right. Yeah, there you go. You could laugh in each room. Tracker Lorna says, hi, Rogue. And War Chief is saying, hi, Rogue. So let's see if our guest is ready.
All right. Yeah. Let me check her.
And we're going to, now, our guest tonight is a young woman who's moved from a big city in a different state to another state into a smaller town in the mountain area. This young lady has started noticing things and hearing things, and no one could give her correct answers. So she did her own research. She started doing her own investigations and looking into things, and she was just seeing oddities and things, and she heard rumors, and some friends of hers had told her, well, you do know that you moved, or that area is known for Bigfoot activity or Bigfoots. And this is just the gist of it. When she gets here, she's going to tell us the story. And we was talking the other night. We asked her to come on and share this with everyone, so everyone can hear this. That we didn't hear the entirety because we said, "Whoa, you got
A lot.
a lot of stuff, and people need to hear this because some people are going through the same thing that you're going through and don't know who to talk to." So, Isla Wren is here. Look at that.
Hey, Isla Wren.
Rogue Status is saying hello to everybody.
Our guest is texting. She says she's ready, but she's not in the room yet. So we'll.
Okay. Everybody's saying hi to Isla Wren. Good to see you. And it was funny that we found out who you were. All this time, we're like, "Oh, they're the same
And you
person."
may have even told us more than once, but sometimes all the different nicknames and stuff get confusing.
Ooh, it does. Tracker numbers, everything. And we're going to be having that pretty
glad,
soon
and
also.
Thank you for patience and reminding us. There she is. Can
All
we,
right. Yeah, I'll put it right here.
We'll put the link in the chat, and go ahead and click on that. This is only for our guest tonight.
There we go. And we'll have our guest introduce whatever they want to introduce as far as themselves and where they're from. It's totally up to the guest. You're more than welcome to talk about where you're at, because we do.
Right, but we do caution specifics to where you're at.
Not exact
Always,
locations.
because there are weirdos out there.
Mm-hmm. And there's even some country boys who's been over in this area for a long time who hasn't seen a Bigfoot, even though they've got the signs in their yards. They still don't know what they're looking at. So kind of bear with some of those guys around these areas, mountain areas. Every area really. You have to. There's just so many people who. We talked about something about them not knowing unless something. Hey, Wedge is here.
Hey, Wedge.
All right.
One thing that we can say for sure with this guest, and we just had one conversation with her, and that was yesterday evening. We're very, very impressed with her intelligence and with her. She's already bought the book. She came from zero knowledge of the predator Bigfoot, zero knowledge of Bigfoots. She's moved here from a different state and a large city to this little tiny town in the country, and basically jumped from the frying pan into the fire. But she's a quick study. She bought the book. She started searching for answers. She's, this is one of the reasons that we chose the verse we did tonight. She's a faith-based individual, and just very sharp at learning. We were excited for a couple of things, because after talking to her, we said, man, our book's really helping. And we know that it is, but each time is still exciting to know that you can go from not knowing about it at all to we gave you the information that you need to get a great start on, because the things that she's picking up already, we're just so pleased, so impressed with her.
And we can see you, Jennifer.
We'll let you in the room in just 1 second. I was busy bragging on you. So you don't have to brag on yourself, but you can. You're welcome to. But so we'll let you tell the rest of it, Jennifer. We'll go ahead and bring you into the room.
And remember, everyone, there's a difference between hearing and listening. So if we're listening, we're paying attention to what she's saying. It does relate to a lot of people who don't have the book, or they've made this choice to move. and they moved into some places that has some irregularities, and they were also looking for answers. So let's welcome Jennifer, and let's listen to what she's got to say. And how are you doing, Jennifer?
Hi, Jennifer. Can you hear
Yeah, I
us?
can hear you guys.
Oh, we hear you great.
All right.
So we gave a basic introduction, and the way we do it is we just let you, basically the way our conversation went last night, we're just going to let you talk until you get it out, unless there, if we raise our hand, because there's a little bit of a delay. If we raise our hand, that means we have something we need to interject, but we try not to do that very often, if at all. And then we'll talk afterwards. So the floor is.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and kind of start. You don't have to tell where you moved from or where you moved to, unless you want to. That's up to you. But let's start from that move to where we are now. Oh, let me try another one.
Can you hear me okay, though? Do I sound clear?
You sound great.
Yeah. Did you catch that last part?
Because if I sound clear, I can just go ahead and tell you what's going on over here.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay. Yeah, because you guys are breaking up. I actually expect technological difficulty whenever I speak about these things because of all the censorship. So that's kind of to be expected. But yeah, oh, that's so interesting about you, Jerry, that you were a pitcher, because my brother was a pitcher too. He grew up playing baseball and everything. So that's really interesting. You guys would get along great.
Yeah, I know we would. Oh.
Oh, no. Jennifer, if you can still hear, it dropped out. You dropped out.
Yeah, so we're going to wait and let her reconnect.
And if everybody would just pray for a good, strong, clear connection so that the information that needs to get out can be gotten out.
And War Chief, if you could, if you're listening, could you put in that one game that you had and the stats that you had? Boom. Here we go. Well, we'll get back to that. There you are.
Yeah, it keeps kicking me out. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's a little better. Okay. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's what had happened is we moved from California to Antlers. I'm okay saying the city. We moved to Antlers, Oklahoma, and I've never been, in this state or anything. My friend had just moved here. She bought some land, and she didn't want to be alone. So she was, saying, well, if you have to move, why don't you just come out and move? You can live on my land with your RV. And I had to move anyway. So I said, sure, why not? Let's go on an adventure.
Well,
did we lose you? Oh, it's so clear when she can talk. Jennifer, if you can hear us, we can't hear you anymore. Maybe disconnect, let her reconnect.
No, I don't. Okay, look like she did, so she'll be back just a second. I'm sure she's going to reconnect.
Okay.
But yeah, War Chief, I think War Chief hit 3 home runs in one game, or it was something like that. I remember, or maybe you had, what was it? I think 3 home runs and maybe was it a pop fly or something? It was something you hit a couple home runs. I think it was 2 or 3 in a game. War Chief says no, it was 8 home runs that he hit in a single game. He hit 8 home runs. He
It's
hit
amazing.
5 single home runs and 3 grand slams.
Warchie, put in your didn't he have also the long jump?
I don't know. But we're just
a
talking
all-around
baseball.
star athlete.
Yeah. And we're all on the same team now, so we're just waiting for Jennifer to reconnect and get back.
Can everyone still hear okay with this fan going? Because this room sure does get hot.
We hope everyone can hear us good. There she is. How you doing, Jennifer?
Let me see if that's any better. Do you guys hear me?
You sound great.
Yeah, the last thing we heard was to go on an adventure.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to start my computer too. For some reason, my phone is having technical difficulties. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So basically, what I done was I decided to move to Oklahoma, never being here or anything. And, I got here and noticed it was real green and beautiful and everything. And nothing really looked strange to me until, in the wintertime, we put like curtains, I put my blankets up on the windows and stuff. Cold, and so I did that to keep warm. Well, I started noticing that there was something like walking around at night, but I just assumed it was another gentleman who had moved here that we tried to help. He was a homeless guy, and we tried to help him out. And I just thought it was him walking around at night, and so I just ignored it. And it was weird because it would be like something walking by, and I knew it was outside, and then it would like tap on my trash cans. I have like little plastic trash cans outside that I keep my pet food in, and it would come tap on the trash cans. And sometimes it even sounded like it opened the trash can. But I just thought it was him, going in there for the stove or to grab something. So I just ignored it. Well, anyway, so that went on actually like a month. I wanted to ask him, like, oh, have you been walking around at night? And my friend said, no, I haven't been walking around at night. And all of a sudden I'm like, wow, that's really weird because I hear someone walking around. So we originally thought, it was people, like there's people coming back here or something. The land hadn't been lived on for like 6, 7, 8 years, like a long time. And so, I was like, okay, well, some people must be walking around here. I'm from the big cities, like not big.
Oh no. Jennifer, we lost you again. We can't hear you. Thank you everyone for your patience, and just pray for a smooth transmission.
Well, War Chief, I don't know how far 26 foot, is that 26 inches?
26 foot 8 inches.
26 foot 8 inches is, but I'm sure we'll be right there with
That's
it.
that's 3 times from our floor to our ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember this one time. Oh, war stories.
Thank you everyone for your patience while we just muddle through the
Okay, so
electronic interference or poor connection.
and she's moved to Oklahoma. So she's moved to Antlers, Oklahoma, to where we live. So this is now a neighbor who has moved from California to our small town, who just got their second stoplight, not maybe about 10 years ago, something. Yeah. So it's not the biggest town in the world, but a lot of great people. Well, we got a lot of cousins here and a lot of good neighbors. Here we do a lot of deterring for other people, even if they don't know we're doing all the work. But this young lady has moved to our area, and we didn't know if she wanted to talk about, the location or not. But since she has, so I know this area, or we know this area. We track this area, so we know the area that she's talking about, and we do know that there is activity over there, and we do know there's a lot of activity in this entire area.
I was going to say in every direction
In every
around
direction. And the documentary, which is in the May sale right now, most of the areas, well, it was all of Antlers and surrounding areas. So this same place that this young woman has moved to, which is here, is in the documentary, and it has places that she hasn't been yet. But being from here, we know all the swimming holes, the park places, the back roads, places like that. So we know where to go to look for if we're looking for these things. But we've been finding them in the towns, in the parks, all these places where people are, where children are.
So she's come from no knowledge at all that they existed to here with something sniffing and rooting around her RV.
And that's where we're at right now. There's something walking around at night. She can hear it. She thinks it's the person who is staying in the extra trailer that they're helping. She thinks it's that person walking around at night. But when she talks to him, he says no. And also that the pet food, she can hear the sounds like the lid is being lifted off.
Which most people think is perfectly okay to leave outside, and you want to leave it outside, but it's not. We recommend you keep your pet food indoors and your trash indoors until you can get rid of it completely off site. She says she's also trying to start up her computer so that she can get on that way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Junior's in the room. Hi, Junior.
Hey, Junior Warrior.
Junior, we have several messages from you that we haven't even had a chance. Sometimes we don't open the messages only because we don't want to open and not be able to really focus on what we're reading. Yeah. So until we get time to go back and really read, that way we don't miss anything important. But we'll get to your messages, Junior. And how you doing? Glad you're here.
Look at War Chief. I like that.
War Chief said, well, I scored 8 home runs in the same game, 5 singles and 3 grand slams. Awesome. Go. War Chief, for those that don't know, is the only person known to have hooked a Bigfoot with a fishing hook.
Caught a Bigfoot. Only person.
And that was not very far from here, and that'll be one of our tracks this summer.
Oh, yeah. We're going back.
Lord willing.
Fully loaded. Armored up.
Junior says, no worries. I know you're doing God's work. You're doing God's work there, too, taking care of your mom. You're doing a good job, Junior.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Matter of fact, we have several sons on here that are the sole caretakers of their mothers, and props to you all.
Are you taller than me, or are you just up closer? I was sitting back.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting there.
You look like you're taller than me.
Raise your hat. I'll slouch. War Chief says, yeah, but I let him get away. I think that's one that needed to be tossed back. It's okay, War Chief.
It's small. Junior Warriors.
Jennifer's still having trouble getting in.
Says hi, Lorna.
Should we tell a little of the story that we know? What if I read her message and then she can come in and tell it when she gets in here? Would that work?
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes.
Give her a little bit more time. Yeah. Okay, so you'll have some chatting time.
Because we do know a little bit about what's going to be told, but we'd rather
you hear it from her.
You hear it from the guest. We don't want to paraphrase. And we're in no rush, so If you hear us, Jennifer, we're in no rush, so
Don't stress.
don't stress. You know, as soon as let that computer work, and whenever it gets back on, it gets back on. Um, let's see. So everyone knows, if you've been with this channel for a while, you know that other trackers, I believe his name was Gary Spikes Jr. and Sr. They've tracked in this area. They've ran across some groups of Bigfoots. One they call Scar's got a white scar on his face. That's also a small interview that's in the DVD or the documentary. We have a talk in there, a conversation about this area. And if you've watched the Bigfoot documentary, then you know what we're talking about. There's so much information in the book, but also the DVD. And some of the information in the DVD is not in the book, so and vice versa. And they both go together. So let me go ahead and put this up here also again. We're also still having the May sale, one autographed book, one Bigfoot documentary for $55. That's actually $50, but plus $5 shipping and handling. The regular price total, if they were separate, would be $80 plus tax. And that's for the book, Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path. Also for the Bigfoot documentary, Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers, and Surrounding Areas. And this interview tonight is talking about right here, the places where we've been tracking, the places where we've been letting people know what's going on. And it's good to have someone not from the area to notice these things, who purchased the book, who is gaining as much knowledge. It's kind of like if someone threw you into a gladiator arena and threw you a sword in a book and a film and said, you better learn as much as you can right now. With this time right now, because you may have a battle, you may not, but always be prepared. Have more information than if you can't find it out there. Get the book, get the DVD.
And Jennifer works, just like we know she's working hard to get in here right now. Here she goes. She says, I always expect technical difficulties trying to connect. One moment.
Just let her know we're just talking.
It's okay.
It's not a rush. And we don't want anyone to be in a rush, especially with the information. So let me check the comments. I'm on another page. I'm on the pictures in the video.
Jennifer is, props to her. She worked hard to get a hold of us because
she did.
We have learned the hard way not to trust people.
To trust.
And here's the thing, honestly, if they come on real hard, real strong at first, we sometimes we don't know if that's a trap or not, right? So we have to be very careful. She worked hard to reach out to us in every kind of way. And we're very glad that she did. And she was even documenting on her own what she was finding on her own. And she's paying attention to what's in the book. She's truly learning, and she is here to teach her friend that would have been here alone on this property that you're going to hear about without Jennifer there, and would have had no knowledge.
And a lot of people do know me in this area from being, being raised here, born in this area, played sports here, did a lot of things with the community here, churches here. So everyone also knows I speak the truth, whether they like me for doing that or for saying that or for holding people accountable is a thing on them. But I'm going to keep talking.
No matter how mad they get at you.
No matter how mad they get, I'm still going to say, well, that was wrong, or you didn't need to do that, or we need to correct that. But she has moved to an area that I know well. Like I said, or Lee Tracker, he was talking earlier that I used to run in these woods, sleep in these, play in these woods, these mountains, all through from here to all over the place, really. Um, and I have noticed the change. I have noticed the tree breaks, the bends, everything, the bows, everything that was not here before.
Yeah. And how many of you are noticing that in your areas? It wasn't that way when I was growing up in East Texas, but since 2020, the signs are just ridiculous. They've advanced right up to the houses. They're not trying to hide out in the woods. There's plenty of uninhabited place. There's plenty of thicket that doesn't bother them a bit. They love to nest in those areas, but they love to come and spy up close and try to look in windows and build their blinds right up next to houses. That's not something that wants to be avoided. That's,
That's something that wants a connection. That's something
that's a
wants.
predator. It's predatory behavior. It's not curiosity for anything to be tapping on your child's window, your daughter's window, the single women's windows. That's a mating ritual. That's what they want. They want food or they want to eat.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that many times. That some of these predators will do both at the same time. It's just unimaginable, the sadistic nature of them, and we have people angry at us for telling the truth about that because they've been programmed to believe otherwise. And we're saying to you that if you see behavior in one of these, they're all predators. Some don't go to charm school, and the others go to hunting predator school. They're all predators. They can all eat you. They will all eat you, given the opportunity. They don't always have the legal rights to do it by spiritual laws. And those are the things that we try to teach you how to protect yourself.
I was just going to say that even the small ones are dangerous. Even the ones you think are small and cute and cuddly, that thing is still
just as dangerous.
Has more strength than you. The arms are bigger, more powerful, has claws, teeth, and they will use every bit of it to kill and to eat.
Yeah.
They're not like a human. They're not going to go out there and fight each other and walk off like a boxing match. When they get started, they get started. One's going to kill the other. One's going to eat.
What they do have, like humans, are these, and they can do all kinds of things that we can do, and they have a very cunning nature. So if it seems like one is your friend, it's just advantageous for that one at that time to seem like your friend, just as it would a groomer with creepy predatory humans will groom sometimes their prey or their intended prey for years before they actually attack. Or they might be nice to 98% of the people they come in contact with, just seem like lovely people, but over here they're abusing this one, and that matters to that one. So it's the same thing with these predators.
Some people don't even know that the predator that they're gifting or trying to communicate with, or maybe even
mind speed,
connecting, getting messages, doesn't know that that connection means that's their food now. You're their food. They're gonna, if you want them to be nice at certain times, they're gonna be nice. They will even follow you or follow that person into the towns, if these people go camping, they'll go ride with them, and they'll go in the woods with them. They'll meet them over the mountain because we're going around it and all the curves. All they got to do is go over the top of the mountain and meet you at the park. So they will follow you distances because you belong to them, and they think that they have that right to you. So they're going to stick with you. If another Bigfoot shows up, this one will show up. It'll show itself, and it'll confront the other one to let it know that belongs to it. Meaning that person belongs to that Bigfoot as far as food. Other people will see that as a protection thing, but it's not. It's.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go
It's
ahead.
protection as in if you're in a prison and you got one that protects you from all the others, but he's still going to get to you. He's still, you belong to him. You understand? Or her,
Yeah.
whatever the case is. It's that kind of protection. It's a bully's protection. It's not a real protection. It's the same way that a demon will help someone, but someday the price will come that they have to pay.
Just like with demonic entities and making deals with demons, the price is the soul. And well, this is a lot of things that are in the new book, but the price is the soul, and the price is is too high for anybody to pay. People don't know what they're doing if they're trying to make deals with demons, or even conversing with demons, even letting demons put thoughts in their heads, whisper in their ears, and tell them to do things to other people, or even like we see sometimes people attack other people on Bigfoot channels, or even the paranormal channels. Demons love to challenge.
Even the food channels.
Even the food channels. But like the demons, they want to challenge that paranormal, the entire group.
Oh, yeah.
That demon will come on and say, so does anybody know about what's moving something in the tree or the house or something? And if that paranormal group can't tell them, that demon knows. This whole group doesn't know.
They're feeling out the
Yeah.
members.
Yeah.
They want to know who's easy prey within there. Who's easy prey.
Even demonic entities will talk to people into going after Bigfoot groups. Like we're a tracker group, but they'll go after the Bigfoot groups just to get their legitimacy down, I guess you would say, to say that, well, they don't know this or they don't know that. That's still trying to put themselves a little higher above that person or that channel. So expect those people who are doing it, they're being directed.
Those are what we call agents of darkness.
Agents of darkness.
We've literally captured photos of one person like that does that. A demon behind him whispering in his left ear, which is something we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shade's in the room.
Hey.
For those just entering the room, we still have our guest is here. She's been booted out. She's having technical difficulties. She's trying to get back in. So we're just in a good chatting place right now, which we don't usually have this much time for, so we're glad.
So we were just talking about demons that challenge others, or they want to challenge someone, and if that person is not up for the challenge, they also will try to find a way into that person. But they want the connection. They want that argument. They want that challenge.
Attention.
That attention, that connection. But if you don't give it to them, you sever them or rebuke them, then they'll go away. But
that it's like food to them. Any kind of energy,
they'll
take it.
And you have to understand that they're being directed. They're being guided. So
they may not even know.
Yeah. So you're not going after that person as a person.
You speak to that demon.
You're going after that demon. And when that demon knocks on that door and starts trying to cause disruption, know it's a demon. That face, that demon is just using that face, just like the Bigfoot, like the Predator, Spider Squatch DNA, is using the face of us to get closer to us, to do what it wants, what it is here to do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Everybody's saying,
we're going to go back and catch up on comments real quick. And so even though you may get attacked personally, try not to take it personal. And we have to do the same. Some days it takes more effort than others. Try not to take it personal when you're attacked by a demon, because there was somebody they were attacking before you. There's going to be somebody they're attacking after you. It's not about you. It's about hating God.
Yeah. So
and
go
if
after
you're doing anything that forwards what God's doing, or anything that brings any kind of light into the world, they hate that. They're going to They're going to attack that. It's
So
okay.
make sure you go after the demon. Don't go after the person.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the demon that's doing it. There was one channel that tried to do some things, and I rebuked that one. And then the next line said, "Well, that's not working," so I rebuked that one. And another one wrote in something. I just kept rebuking and rebuking and rebuking, because I know that a person can carry multiple demonic entities, hundreds of orbs if you want, thousands of them if you want. So,
Legion.
legion. So there's more than one. So you're not just talking to one. Also, you'll rebuke that one, it'll go. But there's another one there, and there's another one, and there's another one.
Now, this isn't making excuses for the person that's doing, because people have to be aware of what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
Right.
don't know, but at some point they need to know. They need to learn. They need to understand what's going on and be accountable for their own decisions and choices, and the way that they are manipulated, and the way that they go from being what God created us to be, which is a vessel of hope. They somewhere along the line become an agent of darkness. Every one of us are going to fall short. The Bible says it. We're beings. We're learning beings.
And
right?
we're programmed to be
Oh,
to
absolutely.
do things wrong.
But there's a big difference between powering through different things that happen in your life. Sometimes you do it great. Sometimes you do it flawlessly. Other times you don't. And willfully going out of your way to bring harm to other people, to go start a fight, to go pick a fight, to go discourage someone or keep knowledge from someone. That's a whole different ballgame. That's when you just moved over to the dark side and you're an agent of darkness. And even worse, in some ways, are the lukewarm people who just pretend nothing's going on. They just try to ride that fence. Those are the lukewarm that at some point, God would just see, like, I got no use for you. You're not hot. You're not cold. I can't. You don't believe in anything. You just flow with the wind.
And Jesus says yes or no.
I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. Vomit you out of my mouth is actually what it said. So it's like an involuntary flow. I can't even handle that of that wishy-washy, everything's okay kind of thing. Jennifer's back.
Well, she's back, but we can't connect her because
Uh-oh.
the device is not connected. It's from. It says you will need to connect your mic or your cam before we can add you. It shows that you're there, but it's not letting us add you to the stream because either your audio or your camera is not connected.
Okay, I sent her a text.
Shade is here. Shade's saying, I'm listening. Salute. He's saying, have to get some Jerry and Tracker vibes.
Can we go up just a little bit? War Chief said War Chief said he sees many more tree irregularities now. Exactly. The bowed trees, the pull downs. These are not ice storms.
No.
In some cases, not in all these cases that they're saying. It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
There she is. There she is.
Oh, we're going to catch her while she's in here. We're going to go. We'll catch up on comments later. Jennifer, can you hear us?
Jennifer,
It looks like everything's working.
can you hear us?
It's a lovely photo.
Test, test, test. Hello? Hello? Can you hear
It
us?
says you're backstage, but we cannot
Hear you. Her microphone's on, so hello, hello, hello. Sounds like a scary movie. Hello?
So we catch up on. We're just gonna go in and out of chat for a minute until we get. As soon as you want to start talking, Jennifer, if you can hear us, you can just break in.
Okay, here's
Isla Wren said she saw branches being moved in the winter and the spring.
oh good, good, Oliver.
So many people paying attention now and noticing things that weren't noticed before.
The shade is saying hello. And Jennifer, if you can hear us, let us know.
She says they throttled my internet, I think. Wow, so slow. So she's working on it. And thank you everyone for your patience. And this weekend we believe we're gonna get to go by there for an in-person
Yeah.
track. And so if we can live stream, we will. If we can't live stream, we will videotape. So either, no matter what, you're going to get Jennifer's story. Let's see. Shauna says, I've definitely found some things since reading the book and watching the channel. You sure have. You've been sending us some good pictures, Shauna.
Oh, yeah. And thank you for
really
doing that,
proud
Shauna.
of you. Very, very proud of you. And she's
taking
she
your
and her-
place back over.
Yeah, taking their place over, knocking back that wood line, and it's just wonderful. Shade says, okay, good evening. I'm okay. Hope you all are okay also. Thanks.
all
Yeah, we're
right.
great, Shade.
Look who's here.
He said, Fern, we missed you, Fern. Was thinking that
Fern.
earlier today. It's always good to hear from you.
What's that? Yeah, we see
I
your
tell you
video
what,
of your
she
photos.
got some evidence that's crazy.
Fern is a tracker. She
sure
knows
is.
what she's doing too.
She does.
Track Balloon saying hi. Cuban there saying hi to
Everybody's
Fern.
glad to see her. There's Jeremy.
Everybody's glad to see Fern, and everybody's glad to see Jeremy. It's been a while, Jeremy Wilson.
Glad to see you.
All right, everybody's saying hi.
Shauna says pertains to human predators too. Exactly. That's what I don't understand is how people can get mad at us how they can call us. Oh, anyway, all we're saying to people is remove the blind spots from your yard, brighten it up. All the things that as a mom, I would always tell the girls, be careful of this area and that area. But I was thinking of human predators, blind spots and dark spots and things like that. And be careful when you're getting in and out of your vehicle and things like that. We're saying the same thing. We're just saying that the predators also apply to predator Bigfoot who take advantage. All predators, because they're all run by the same demonic spirits. They're all influenced by those same demons. They follow the same patterns, exactly the same patterns. They look for the same kind of weaknesses and vulnerabilities. They look for the same possibilities for trapping people. It's all the same. A few little minor tweaks, but in general, the patterns are the same. Shauna says, I caught at least 2 a couple of days ago. Wow. Disgusting. Good for you. She says, using the techniques from the book and the channel.
Oh, thank you, Shauna.
That's awesome, Shauna. And every day, each day, we're getting more and more confirmation. And we don't need confirmation, but because we already know what we know, no matter who else believes it, but we sure are delighted when we get the confirmation.
Also,
except that we wish you didn't have to deal with these things, but
also if you get a chance, I didn't put the link on here tonight, but it's one where we talk about water spirits, and we had that before this weekend last year to warn about the drownings and how these things will drown and make them look like accidents. Where to find the bodies if there are drownings? Look for them in the middle of the lake, middle of the pond, way down for something. That's the very deepest and the very
what if we did a regular
darkest location?
Phone call with Jennifer. She can hear us on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
Jennifer, what if we just call you and just put it on speakerphone? Would that work?
We can do that, Jennifer. And it's 8:30. Why don't we just save it for Sunday?
Let's just do it.
Okay. Well. Okay. Hey, she says sure.
Everybody's already here.
She says sure, so we can go.
Okay, we're calling you right now, and I'm going to turn off this little fan to help with the sound. Hello. Hi. Can the audience hear okay?
We have to put this over here. Okay. Can everybody hear Jennifer? Jennifer, can you say a couple things?
Can you hear us, Jennifer? Oh, man. We heard her say hello. Jennifer, can you hear? Can you hear? Yeah, but let me put you back on speaker and just talk as loud as you can, if you don't mind. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for some reason the internet's throttled. I mean, I always have these types of problems when we try to talk about this stuff.
So go ahead. We started with you had just moved here from California. You moved here because your friend bought some land and she was, you know, she didn't really want to stay there by herself. You also needed a place. So it was just like a God thing for both of you to be able to help each other out. And we'll start from there.
Yeah. So anyway, so like I was saying, it was a winter, so I automatically, you know, covered all my windows. I wasn't doing it because of any, you know, Bigfoot reason. It was just because it's cold outside. So I never did see anything outside that was making the noises, and I just assumed it was our other roommate, you know, that was living here. But when I asked him if he was walking around in the middle of the night, he said no. And I was like, okay, well, something is. And it's like going to my trash cans where I keep my pet food. It never took any food or anything. It would just like tap on it. And like it sounded a couple times like it had opened the food. So I, you know, assume maybe it knows that is food, but it wants different food, but it was like trying to tell me, like maybe like you wanted food or something. But anyway, I didn't know at that time that anything about Bigfoot. Never heard of this, you know, before other than just the name. And so I didn't think anything of it, and eventually, you know, life is just going on as normal. There's, you know, things going on, and I started, you know, heating up the springtime, so I'm usually a person that sleeps with the windows open in the spring. So I took all my blankets off the windows, and I have a actual, like a catio RV. I've turned my RV into a catio because I have 5 cats, and they all stay inside. Thank God. I never, you know, train them to go outside alone or anything. So they stay inside, and I've got like a screen, and then I have hardware cloths put over the screen just to reinforce it so coyotes don't like try to jump and get them. And so I leave my windows open at night just to, you know, have a cool breeze come through. Well, I started doing that, and the thing, whatever it was that was coming around at night, came by. But this time I woke up to something sniffing outside, and it was something I never heard before, and it was like, the only way I could describe it, it was like the sound of like, the equivalent of like 5 dogs sniffing at one time or something. It was huge. Like I couldn't imagine what it was. So I grabbed my floodlight. You know, I had bought a floodlight before I came out here because I knew, you know, it was going to be like kind of rural. And so I got my floodlight out and I started looking outside. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention, I was hearing clanking noises, like something was messing with my friend's trailer, because she had one trailer she bought that she originally lived in and then later got like a bigger RV. Well, her other trailer's parked right across from me, and I started hearing like tinkering noises, like something was tinkering with it that same night. And so I was shining the light, you know, figuring whenever I heard sniffing, must be sniffing her trailer or something, so I was flashing the light over there. I didn't see anything. I could not get my eyes on what was making the noise. And it was really weird. And so, you know, I didn't know what to think. I never heard of Bigfoot yet. And I kind of got creeped out. You know, I'm into a lot of spiritual warfare because, you know, I've been through a lot of things like the synchronicity things that are going on, where people are really understanding that God is active in our life and everyday life. So I know, like, you know, there's something going on, you know, with this stuff. And so I thought, wow, this place might be like haunted, or like something's going on here, because I can't see, and something is making a noise and I can't see it. That's really weird. So I even went on Facebook and I said, you know, I think there's a devil infestation over here, because of the stuff I was experiencing. And it wasn't just that. That was the two things. It was a tinkering with the trailer, which I heard. I know I heard it. I heard the metal. And then I heard the sniffing. And the sniffing was like a sniff with like a grunt, not a growl, but like a snort almost. It's the weirdest thing. I never heard it in my life. It was just like sniffing and then snorting and then sniffing and then snorting. And so anyways, coming up to that point, that day, we had been doing like little yard works and stuff, and I had been feeling off, like a really weird sensation, and I kept hearing something like a low rumble, kind of talking or growling. Like, I'm not sure what it was, but I kept hearing something like in the low decibel range. And it was, making me feel uncomfortable because that, sounds demonic, of course, when it's that low. And I didn't know where it was coming from. And we also have some kind of bird. We assume it's a bird, but now that I've read your book, I'm even questioning if it is a bird. That started making like this clacking sound that sounds like rocks. It's like, and it's very like loud, obnoxious, and everywhere. It's like, I can't pinpoint the bird. I can't see the actual bird doing it. The noise is just permeating the whole area. And that showed up at the same time too. So it's so weird. Like, we had like all these things like show up at the same time on this one night and or day too. And I never did locate where the groan sound was coming from. It was like a really deep sound, but it seemed to be coming from our little stream that comes through the property. And so I had gone over there, and I assumed it was like wild boars. That's what I thought. I thought, oh, maybe it's wild pigs. They're over here. And I was like, thankful, okay, well, maybe there's wild pigs, and that would be good, like, if we ever need to eat. And there's no food, So anyway, I kind of just like wrote it off like that just to get through the day. But then this stuff happened at night, and I went on Facebook, and I was like, okay, I think this place is infested with devils, because I heard this all day, and then all of a sudden there's something sniffing outside. I cannot see. I can't locate it with my floodlight, which if you've ever used like one of those floodlights, I mean, it's like bright as the sun almost. It lights up the whole place. And so, of course, I'm alone, with my 5 cats and dogs, so I'm not going to go outside and check out, something that sounds large. So I just forgot about it, and I actually, I just rolled over. It was really weird, because I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe God's testing me. Maybe God wants to see if I really trust him. So I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go sleep. The thing is sniffing. I'm not even going to think about it. So I just rolled over, and I went to bed. And so I went to sleep, and nothing happened. That was it. And so that incident happened, and so I posted it on Facebook. Well, when I posted on Facebook, one of my friends, Daniel, who happened to be from Antlers, I didn't even know this, goes, oh, yeah, you guys have Bigfoot in the area. And I'm like, Bigfoot? What is that, And he's like, yeah, I used to hear this stuff, at night all the time when I lived there. And I'm like, really? And it's the first time I've ever heard of this. So I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of intriguing. I'll start researching this. So, of course, I'm the type of person, I dig into everything. I have to know everything about everything until, I can come to conclusions in my mind. So I started researching everything and found out, videos talking about the tree knocks, and I found out about tree crashing sounds and all this stuff. Well, lucky or unlucky, I ended up hearing the tree knocks like the next day, I think there was. And it was weird because I was inside, and I had my windows open, my screen open and everything. And I kept hearing like a sound outside, and we already had that bird clacking sound going on. So I was already kind of thinking, okay, well, it's springtime, of course, all the nature's coming to life. So it must be, just nature coming to life, and I'm just assuming it's all natural. And then, it dawned on me, oh, wait a second. That sounds like something knocking on a tree. And I was like, okay. So I stopped everything I was doing and started staring outside. And it continued. And it was so weird because, I heard it, and then I heard it,
and then I heard it, and it went on for like at least a minute because I'm just sitting there like typing on my phone, listening to it, looking outside to see if I can see where it's coming from, you know? So it was quite a bit of time that was going on. And my friend had taken off. She drove down into the city, you know, to go to the post office or store or something. So I wasn't really scared of it, but it was definitely tree knocks. Like, I know for a fact it was. And some of my friends, when I posted online, even said, well, maybe it's like someone like messing with you, you know? And of course I kind of, you know, said, okay, well, maybe, you know? But then later, when I tried to show my friends, you know, what I heard, I took a log myself and hit it against the tree. And I know we're not supposed to do this. Like, I know, don't do that because you don't want to attract them. But I just did it to demonstrate to her once. And I hit it. And I could not get anywhere close to the sounds that I was hearing. You know, and I've never, like, hit a tree with a tree branch before. So to me, it was just shock. Like, wow, it doesn't really sound very loud. You know, I kind of shocked myself. Like, oh, I'm not very strong. I can't make that noise. But then I realized, like, okay, well, I really did hear tree knocks then because there's no human that can make that noise. That noise was so loud. I mean, so loud. Like, it would have to be like the biggest pipe, like, you know, copper pipe against the tree, you know, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so loud. And it literally sounded like it was coming out of our pond. You know, so I was looking at, like, the dead trees in the pond, just looking at them, don't see nothing. And then when my friend was coming home, I, you know, was trying to go outside. Then I'm like, okay, she's home, so I'll go outside. And when I went to go outside, I had not been out just like a minute. And all of a sudden, I heard this big tree crash, like the biggest tree crash. And I've been around trees crashing, you know, but it was like so loud tree crash. Like, it had to be a humongous tree. And again, I kind of tried to write it off, like, okay, well, maybe the neighbors are taking down a tree or, you know, something like that. Of course, I realized someone taking down a tree that size, they'd have to cut it. They couldn't just push it over and make that sound. So, you know, I started putting two and two together, like, no, you're definitely not, don't lie to yourself, don't try to cover it up. You heard tree knocks, you heard a tree crash, so there's something going on, you know? And so, you know, I had, kind of explained it to my son, but I also posted online, you know, about that stuff just to find out what other people know, you know, like, well, what could this possibly be, you know? And so that's pretty much the biggest incidences. And then the roommate we used to have, he did say one time that he heard something very big growling in the back of the property because he was staying in like this abandoned building that's still on the property. It needs to be torn down. I know we're not supposed to have those up. I'm going to get this down. But it was there and it's still there. And so he had said that. And you know, I didn't take it very serious because I was still getting used to the area. I didn't know, like, is there bears around here? How common are bears? What are the coyotes like? Are they big? You know, I wasn't sure because I'm not from the area, so I don't know the wildlife. But the way he said it now, like, really is eerie to me because he said, like, it was really big. And I'm like, you know, okay, maybe he's exaggerating, you know. But now I believe him. Now I don't think he's exaggerating because I can definitely say there's something going on here. And the other thing, like, just the other day, and that happened, I just looked it up today to get the dates for you. The time frame for, like, hearing the dark noises and the tree clacking starting and the tree, you know, knocks and all that started on April 7th. So that's into the spring, I think, like close to the springtime. I can't remember when spring started, but that was like when it started warming up. I don't know if it was exactly spring yet, but when it started warming up a little. But the other stuff, you know, happened in winter, and that was like when it was really cold. So now I think that the thing was here the whole time. At first, when I was talking to you guys the other day, I had thought like maybe it just showed up in the summer, like painting summer. But then I started thinking back about that thing walking around, and now I think it was here the whole time. And we just didn't know because we keep our windows closed, and when it's cold, we got the heater on and we got the windows covered, so I wouldn't have seen it or heard it too loud. So now I do think it was here like the whole time, and probably trying to get me to feed it. That's what I was thinking, because he's tapping on the place where the food is, but he's not stealing that food. Like, he doesn't want that, but he wants me to know that's what he wants. Like, I want food, but not that food. So anyways, so then, I been researching this stuff, and then I found you guys, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, they're here in Antlers. So I'm like, that's pretty interesting, they're right here. And, I was listening to so many videos, just consuming video after video, trying to figure out, all the details and if I was in danger and what's going on. And, so then when I found you guys, I was like, okay, well, obviously this place has this happening, obviously this is going on, and it's not my imagination, and so I, after researching all this stuff the other day, I got the idea, I gotta just go look around the property, because now my, the lady that bought the land's getting kind of nervous, me talking about this thing sniffing at the window. So she's getting kind of nervous, and so I says, you know what, I'm going to go out. I'll take my dog. I have a huge dog. Not that matters, because Bigfoot's, he's no match for a big dog, but a big dog's no match for Bigfoot. But anyway, it gives you a little bit of feeling of security. So I took the dog with me, and I, phone, went out, and I made that little film that I sent you guys an email. Just of the little places that I found, which, and today I have to admit that it kind of dawned on me that if those are places that are sitting, like the one I was looking at how you're explaining, like their buttocks, like what it looks like when they sit down and everything. The one spot that's back there is like cleared of leaves, like the leaves are all to the side and everything. And I'm wondering, like, that spot is right in the place where it could watch my RV from that side. So now I'm like nervous, like, oh, maybe it's watching, me from that side, instead of just from like the pond, around the pond side. I'm not sure because I haven't seen any eyes. In fact, I'm a pretty strong spiritual person. Like, I believe God is protection, and nothing happens if God doesn't allow it. So we always have to be spiritually, prepared and doing our warfare. So I always put my trust in God, but I'm not the type that's going to walk into danger alone, like for no reason. Like, I won't go outside and just, go walking off into the forest for no reason. There's no reason to do it, right? So, so I haven't like got the eyes, or, I haven't got any pictures of like eye shine or anything like that. But I have to say that since you guys contacted me, it's gotten a little bit weirder. I just sent you a picture of those that wood pieces I found. Those wood pieces were put there. Somebody put those there because I was going around picking up like the wood pieces and the pine cones so that I could push my little mower. I have like a little hand mower, and I've been having fun just going around like pushing it and just mowing the grass. But I have to pick up all the wood first because it gets stuck. So anyway, I've been doing that, and I told my the landlady here, I says, my friend, I says, it's weird because I know I picked up that area, and I know I put their lawnmower over it, and today there's sticks there, and one of the sticks is newly broken, like something just took it and snapped it right in half. And it's not a little stick either. I mean, it's kind of like, almost like he wanted me to know that it wasn't a human that did it, because it was kind of big. Like, I don't know if a grown man might be able to snap it, but I don't think a woman maybe would be able to snap it. So I'll show you guys when you come over. But so that was weird. And then also, my friend was starting to take pictures across our pond, and I told her, be careful taking pictures because the thing can get angry or aggressive if it knows that you catch it in a picture. And so she didn't know, and so it's kind of like I have to fill her in every step of the way, what I'm learning, and then pass it on. So she didn't know that, but anyway, and then she messaged me. She's like, okay, something's going on because there's some kind of fog coming over the pond. And I was like, using the restroom, and when I came out, I saw that message. Oh, I just got chills. Anyway, so I saw that message, and I was like, whoa. So I look out, and I don't see any fog. I don't see any fog on the pond. And so I explained to her, spirits can manifest as fog and smoke and all this stuff. So I think there's something going on there, because earlier I had taken the dog out. I wanted to get more pictures of the tree that got broken up by the street. So I took the dog out, got more pictures of that. And I noticed today feels weird. Like, ever since we talked, I'm feeling more activity, like things moving around that you can't see. Like, literally, there's stuff flying around, like I'm catching it out of my peripheral vision. So I can't see it, but I know it's there. Like, I see it. There's something flying around. And then when I crossed the bridge, I saw the image in my glasses. You know how when you're walking one way, if something shines on the back of your eyeglasses, you can see it a little bit? I saw something there, and so I stopped. And I looked, and I couldn't make out what it was. It was just kind of like, a shadow or something. And so I kept walking. So I noticed that today there's more activity today since we talked. And also I went to go get my water, and I came back. I had my dog. I don't leave him too far away from me alone anymore. So I, put him right by the RV, and I just went to get some water. When I came back, he was underneath the RV. And he looked scared. And I was like, okay, why is he doing that? And then when I walked him later, like after that, he was acting strange too. And he is sniffing the air, like the high sniff. I don't know if you know a lot about dogs, but he's doing the high sniff, like not sniffing the ground, but like really sniffing the air towards the other side of the pond. And so I'm like, okay, I may not trust my instinct, maybe I don't think I'm being paranoid about seeing stuff moving, I know stuff does move faster than we can see. I know that. So I don't think it's paranoia. But then when the dog was doing that, I was like, okay, something's going on, because the dog was acting scared. He's sniffing the air, like really high in the air. So he's not, not tracking something. He knows something's like, in a different direction. And so I took his word for it. We went inside. He didn't want to be outside anymore. And so I think they're upset, because of course they know we talked. And so they see their days are numbered. And I was trying to even tell them, I know this is crazy, you're not supposed to talk to these beings, but I'm kind of a crazy Christian. I talk to God all the time. I talk to Jesus. I don't hear them talk back necessarily, but I do get synchronicities and stuff like that I discern as well as I can, because some things are from, people trying to trick you. I mean, that's true. Some stuff is people trying to trick you and everything. So I do try to do really good discernment to decide if it's from God or not. And so, I just figured, the way the dog is acting and everything, that was really weird. And I think if I, at least send some kind of positive message, I sent a positive message to these beings, that they're better off not being here because our neighbor has guns. These Bigfoots, they shouldn't be living here anyways. This is human territory, and it's not safe for them either. And so I was trying to send them a positive message like, hey, look, you would do better in the mountain. It's better for you to go in the mountains away from the humans, because then you're not in danger. Long term, that's the better solution, So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to, I hope to find a peaceful solution to the situation. I'm the type of person I can tolerate a lot, as long as, something's not hunting us, which is the big problem with these guys. We never know what they're up to, and usually that is what they're up to. So that's the big problem. So I just you know, I want to have a peaceful solution to the situation, even if it's just locking the property off. Like I told my friend, I said we might have to put barbed wire on the other section to keep the deer out, because it looks like the Bigfoot made the deer traps. I think at the back, the video I sent you, definitely looks like a deer trap. It's the size, it's kind of like the size of a deer, you know, like I could see like a deer would run in there and be like, oh, which way do I go, you know? So I hope it's for the deer and not for us, but yeah, so I found that there, and I found my first X today too. There is an X up the way down our dirt driveway. See, I didn't know to look for that stuff, so today when I was walking, I did find where a branch was placed and an X was placed across it. I'm like, hey, okay, that looks like it was deliberately placed like that. So I think maybe there's an X down the way too. That's because I'm kind of asleep. So that's about the gist of it. Oh, and I almost forgot the part. You know, I'm heavily involved with research. I'll research everything till I'm exhausted, and I research the targeted individual phenomenon. You know, what's going on with those people, and it's looking very identical to like what people experience when they have seen a Bigfoot and start feeling sick. So I definitely think it's connected. And also some of those people like hear voices. And one of the things that happened that was weird when I was researching Bigfoot, I got a thought that I know was not my thought. It was not my thought because it was so clear and like so man. It was like a man in English, the clearest English. And it just said, God wants to kill me. And so I was like, okay, I understand that might be something these things have been told. Maybe it is true in biblical terms too. I don't know. I don't really know. But I felt bad and I was like, no, God doesn't want to kill you. If he wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. I mean, you know, if he really wanted to kill you, you would be dead. Who knows? I don't know. I don't really know. Of course, you know, my mind was gravitating to like, oh, maybe these are the beings that God does want to, you know, not exist. But I can't make that assumption just based on, you know, my small knowledge base, you know. That's why I research everything. So I try to get to the bottom of everything. Now I got to go down that rabbit hole and try to find out what's going on with that. Yeah, so I was really happy to find you guys in your book because, wow, your book is so like, it's got so many different areas that you can dig further into. It's kind of like a Bigfoot 101 is what it looks like. You know, it's like Bigfoot 101, and then you can dig into each little area, like to find what's going on, because it definitely does seem spiritual too. They are demonized. I think that is what's going on because the military is protecting them. And I was just telling the military a second ago, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. You shouldn't unleash this stuff on the world to anybody. I don't care who the enemy is. It's not ethical. So yeah, so, you know, obviously some part of the military is protecting them, and I don't think it's a good part, obviously, and that tells me that they're demonized and they're being used, they're weaponized, is what like in secular terms, we just say it's weaponized. They've weaponized these huge beings because they don't want to do the job, you know, they want to like get rid of somebody, they don't want to do it themselves. And so these people really do, they human traffic people for this too. And so I think even these Bigfoots are being human trafficked by the God humans and the fallen angel or the Satan. You know, Satan is also a human trafficker. He does that. He hijacks people's brains and uses them for his purposes. So anyway, that's a conclusion I've kind of come to. So I'm kind of, you know, right now my mind is like kind of open to learning as much as possible, and also, you know, keeping an open mind too. Like, are these beings actually abused? Are they being abused by the bad people, or are they bad themselves? Like, I'm not really sure yet. So that's why I'm hoping for guidance spiritually too.
Good. Okay, thank you for that. That's a lot in there.
I know.
We're very proud of you.
No, we're glad you have that much.
Yeah. We made some notes. Jerry, do you want to go first? My notes are just page references for the book to help with each one of those areas, but we'll let Jerry go through his comments and notes first.
You do have activity, and we know that they're there, and we're going to visit soon. But until then, some things that we do is, but we also have to remember that we have to do our part. So the deterrence is a lot of work. Also, we had a person who asked for
more than one.
Well, more than one, but this last person, not you, but someone else asked for help, and we told them that because there was things moving in their house that they're going to have to do a house cleansing, which is we got that video linked to this in the description, but yeah, but we said they're going to have to clean their house to get these things out of there, and they said it's not going to happen because of the situation that they were in. But then they kept asking why about the faces in the clothes, the faces in the ground or the floor, and I said you have to clean your house, but they still haven't, but they still want to ask all these other questions.
They have a problem for every solution. The answer is still the same.
Yeah, they don't want to do the work like what you're doing. You're scouting your land. You already got the book. You're finding as much information as you can, and you're the people we like to help. The ones that don't want to do anything,
or don't follow through. They might listen at first, and then they buckle a quarter of the way in, and then all you've done is stir everything up because you didn't follow through and keep pushing back and keep pushing back and keep pushing back.
Yes.
And so, like, go there and hang up curtains, and then the next time you go there and the curtains aren't up because they just feel claustrophobic. Well, I'd rather be claustrophobic at night when you shouldn't even be looking outside than have something staring in at you at night. It just it does not compute to me, not for human predators or any other kind of predators. But that's the kind of thing that from our end gets a little frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, I could understand. Yeah, my house is pretty clean. I mean, I'm Catholic by faith, and I've been doing spiritual warfare for a long time. So a lot of the stuff I've gotten rid of. Like, I know what you're talking about. I've had wind inside a house. Like, I've had that there, and it's gone because I did so much spiritual warfare. I had to come out. Bless my house. I got blessed everything. I got holy water, salt, everything. So I really do cover that area. You know, I was researching that part. And so that stuff, I don't feel anything inside. So that's the good thing. My threshold is there. There's nothing inside. It's all happening outside. So the outside part, that's the hard part, and knowing what to do. Like, do we want to deter them, or do we want them to leave? Like, I actually think it's better for these creatures to go live high in the mountains. Like, it's better for them. It's not good for them to be just low. Eventually, there's going to be someone that shoots them. You know, it's not going to be me probably, but it might be the neighbor. You know, it's probably better that they just move on. So I guess that's like the question. Like, you know, we can do the deterrence stuff, but how do we communicate to them that they should move?
By removing their blinds, any blinds that you have control over, and those things weren't traps that you showed the pictures of with the pull downs. Those aren't the traps. Those are where the predators hide to stalk and to watch. So we call those blinds. That's on page, you know this, but this is for anyone else. It starts on page 127 of the book, Blinds and Hides.
Okay.
You said that pond, you have access to half, but not to the other half. So we want them at least pushed back to stay back on that other side of that pond. They don't need to be up here sniffing at your door. You need to get that pet food inside. Don't leave that outside at night. They may be tapping and shaking that to get the cats to come out. You know, really they would much rather eat the cats than they would the cat food.
Yeah.
Did you, but sorry, Jerry, did you have more notes? And then we'll come back.
Also, with our prayers, prayers are daily worship and thanks for everything that we get. But these Bigfoots, some of them do have the demonic entities that go with that. So they understand prayers also, and when they see that, that's a deterrence also. They want to be at your friend's trailer, not yours.
And I don't want them there either. She's Christian too, so she's doing
Good.
prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we start off with the deterrence, and if we have to, we'll have to remove. But the deterrence will only help us. And if your neighbor, if she does the deterrence, it'll help both of y'all. But your neighbors, they're going to your neighbors. And I remember you talked about the horses and the coyote sounds in a distance.
Oh yeah, they're running all over here, and the reason I figured it out was because they got so close, and then I heard a whoop, like it sounded like coyotes, like totally like a coyote, and all of a sudden it just went whoop, and I was like, oh no, that is not a coyote. So, and we've been hearing those coyote noises for months, and so I always thought it was just the dogs running, and I was even trying to tell the neighbors, like, oh, it's, living rural, that's what happens, animals hunt at night. But I had no idea that there was a Bigfoot, out there. So, and I didn't know about mimicking. I knew nothing about that. So now I know, and I, recognize that the noise that sounded like a coyote was not.
Yeah. They'll also rape the horse. They'll actually pull out a foal or a calf from the inside. Whenever they kill raccoons or something small, they'll leave the body, but they'll squeeze the stomach hard enough to where the intestines come out the back end, and they'll eat that and leave the food there. So we're not dealing with a coyote or something
Normal predators.
normal.
We're dealing with something that will turn a coyote inside out and tie it in a knot, and that's not an exaggeration. That's a literal description of the sadistic nature of these things that people are trying to convince others are forest friends.
Okay.
And for us, if people won't even consider the possibility of these predator Bigfoots, even in the existence, and they're putting their family in danger. So it's good that you're noticing and did your own homework, because I don't know if your neighbor did before you got there or not, but you seem to be more aware of your surroundings than even has she been there a while?
Yeah, I think she was here a few months before I got here, and I got here on December 3rd.
Oh,
so she's
okay.
been here a little bit, but she didn't know nothing about Bigfoot. I just told her, I kind of, I've been telling her grandma's on the roof, I didn't want to scare her too much, so I told her a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and then finally today, I'm trying to nail it home, like, no, this is really dangerous, you got to take it serious, this is like a hot spot. And she's like, a hot spot? And I said, yeah, there's Bigfoot activity here. I mean, this is a reality we're going to have to deal with. We can fight it, we can fight back in the ways that are available, but it's just a reality we've walked into. Yeah, so, wow, I did not know those gory details. That's really, really frightening. I won't tell her that one right away.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's being nice too, because they will do that to a man or a woman.
Yeah.
And even to a young man or whoever they can get a hold of out there who looks lost.
Now, how did you guys find out? Are you involved with law enforcement? Have you come across these crime scenes?
No, but we have other trackers.
And we've, as far as the
eyewitnesses
squishing out part, that we know firsthand.
You've seen it, okay.
Yeah.
And of the rapes.
And
the horses, the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, I think because they're demonized, you know, those demonic entities, the ones that are implanting demonic entities on people, are doing that. They are creating pedophiles, they are creating sexual deviants, and they are creating hypersexuality. So these things become addicted to pornography like the humans, you know, and so I think that's transferring over to this Bigfoot arena.
All the same demons
Well,
running with them.
when we get
And
the
it's
new
just
book,
pure beast.
yeah, when we get the new book, we talk about the transference of the awareness that predator Bigfoots get with when they eat somebody and the soul comes out. That also happens with demonic people. If they get a hold of them, there's still a transference. But also there's other entities that come with Bigfoots, the fairies, the orbs, they all travel together, what they call the little people. Every kind of hybrid you can think of, from the 1 inch, the 2 inch, the ones that look like the little gremlins. You're by a pond, so there may be some frog looking Bigfoots. Some of them can have 3 toes for the aquatic. And if they've been eaten and been there for a while, you may have what we call water spirits, which hunt in the water, and they'll be in the dark shadows but translucent, so it'd be very hard to see them. But they all run together, so you're going to have, even like what we do is, you can have a bug zapper in your house, and I know a lot of these fairies and other parasites, because there's things like what they call rods. They're like flying parasites. They're hard to catch. They're real fast, but you can, on a camera, slow it down. But those will feed off people when people sleep or take naps. This is like when you feel that cold spot in just one spot on your body. And well, we tell people slap that and scratch that, and you'll feel the warmth come back. But then a little bit later, you're going to feel another cold spot, because it's these translucent little predators that are trying to take a bite. And some people will have even little bite marks. And
one of our trackers, when she was a young girl, got bit by something, and she just slapped without, your body's reflex. You slap the bite. And she killed a fairy. And that was just like physical proof right there of them biting and feeding. They're all predators, all energy parasites.
And they'll also speak. They know small words. They can mimic small words, but
short phrases.
Yeah, short phrases, but they'll be familiar phrases. So it'll be something. If you listen to their words, they're mimicking what they hear all the time in your home. So whatever voices and things that you're hearing, there's a difference from what you was talking about, because that sounded more like a mind speak. But a little fairy, they know little words like
who's there?
Who's there? Hello.
Jennifer,
your names. Yeah, your pets' names. But they'll also get together and all flash their light, because some of them, all of them, they all have bigger heads in their body. Some of them are an inch big to 2 foot. But they also, sometimes the head will be the only thing glowing, sometimes the head and the body, or sometimes they won't glow at all, or cause that light like a lightning bug. And sometimes they'll get together and make a big flash outside your window to get you to look outside or up in the air. But they'll also knock on your door. They'll knock on your windows, just trying to get you outside, because they still want to feed. They can't take you down, but that predator, if they can get you to come outside while that predator's outside, and that predator does its thing, then they also get to feed.
I like the birds too.
Yep, just like the birds. But also, have you had any missing pet food, like lower levels than normal, or?
No, nothing. No, this thing does not want the food. I mean, you know what's weird too? Is I'm just thinking like, wow, I have one that doesn't like my cooking because the way I live is in an RV, right? And so I put a stove outside. Usually I cook outside because I have asthma, and I know that's one thing that you're not supposed to do. I just learned. So I've been cooking inside now and using Febreze just to keep the scent down. But I was cooking outside, and I was making like big old like containers of soup. I mean, like huge, like a big old vat of soup, like Mexicans do, you know, like a big old amount. And I made like that several times. And what I would do, you know, when it's freezing cold outside, I would just leave it outside. You know, it doesn't fit in the refrigerator. So I was like, okay, I'll just leave it out. It's freezing out here anyway. And they never touched it. They never touched it. And I just wonder, like, wow, that's kind of interesting because it smelled good. And they never did touch it. And they never touched these, the pet foods. And actually, I'm kind of a prepper type person, like with the economy, the way it's going and everything. So I stock up on stuff, you know. So I stocked up on dog food. I stocked up on cat food, chicken food. I have chickens too. They haven't touched the chickens. I mean, nothing. So I don't even think they'd come close to the chickens because I never hear the chickens like go crazy at night or anything. So it's really weird. I mean, I find that kind of odd. But then I also realized like this area is so full of food that
Right.
maybe it doesn't want to take the chance right now. You know, there's so much other sources of food that it's like, oh, I'm not going to take that chance. You know, I don't want to get the humans chasing me or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Me too. Yeah, you're right. Your instincts are very good, and that's exactly our thoughts on the matter.
And whenever you're outside, try not to yell for your pets. Always keep them close to you. Don't yell for your neighbor because they will start to mimic those words or those names, and they're going to use that later. But like you're saying right now, they're pretty much filling you out, seeing what you know, your vulnerability. They're setting up blinds. They're not just going to come in and do it, not unless you're like camping. If you're camping out in the mountains on that second and third day, that's when they come in. But the first day, they're just doing recon. And that's basically what they're doing now. They're finding out when you're coming home, if you're staying home, when you come out,
setting up,
where you're going to come in, where you come out and feed, where you cook. If you leave scraps out, what time
pets come out.
Yeah, if you smoke, it's what time you come out and smoke, because everybody has a certain people fall into patterns, routines, and schedules, and Bigfoots rely on that.
How well do you have it lit up out there?
Unfortunately, we didn't because we did have a security light, and she's like, "Oh, we don't need it." You know, it was like $10 a month or something, and she just didn't want it, so she turned it off. Now I'm thinking we probably put it back on because there's no light. I mean, it's real dark, and I like it dark at night, but you know, with this kind of stuff, probably not a good idea.
Right, and even with the human predators, you know, even with the local meth heads,
and
have it lit up.
The Bigfoots. Love is a deterrence, and you'll find that in the book, but love is a deterrent. So when you're outside, when your friend goes outside, if possible, have her call you and let her know that you're going, or she's going outside. So they'll watch to see if you come out at the same time she does, or looking out your window and watching her, or just kind of be on the front porch. But they know that other person's protected and that you're protected because she watches you. That's a deterrence also, and that's also a form of love that when people do that for each other, the Bigfoots know these people are watching out for each other. These people love each other, so they're going to be more cautious with their loved ones. Also, with your pets, you have to treat your pets exactly the same as, I mean, some people have a favorite cat. Somebody has, you know, this is a cat that, you know, just does its own thing. So if you're showing favoritism to one or two or three, the Bigfoots are watching and going, well, that one won't be missed.
Oh my goodness.
And they will take them one at a time.
Yeah.
And be careful when you're pulling out if your cats are outside sometimes, because Bigfoots will hold a cat or a dog behind that back tire just so you do that job and you bury it and they get the rewards afterwards.
They would be in the translucent state doing that, so you wouldn't see them. You know, have you gotten to that section of the book yet? Translucency, or also mind protection technique?
You mean if they stole a cat, they would kill it?
Well, they would hold a cat underneath your back tire when you're backing out. They would do something to where it would be where we would think it's our fault.
I got you. Okay.
They get a free
It's
meal.
like they'll rush prey out into, you know, sometimes people will talk about that deer hit me. They'll push them out into that isolated car, that lone car on the highway. You know, suddenly an animal comes out. Like, why now? There's nobody before me, nobody after me. Why did it come out right now? It's because they're being flushed out to cause a wreck. And
They'll throw birds at windows.
Turtles.
They'll throw turtles at windows.
Amazing.
Just any cunning, crafty way that you can think of. They've been at this a long time. It might be your first time to interact with them, but it's definitely not their first time to interact with people.
Yeah, I get you.
And if you're cooking inside, do you have a vent that blows out? Do you?
No,
okay.
I cooked just by electricity, so I'm not using gas. And so what I did is I cooked and then I like sprayed Febreze all over.
Yeah.
Wherever
bleach.
Wherever you heard this sniffing.
Yeah.
We need to. There's something, or there's a vent. There's a crack in the door. There's something, because they're finding the best hole or crack to get a good whiff. And you may have had Febreze in that area whenever they snorted, because they was breathing in and then they snorted.
Actually, unfortunately, it was me. They were sniffing. It was the window where I sleep. So I was sleeping with the window open right next to my body.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was definitely like sniffing me.
Okay.
And you know, what I did was kind of stupid. I mean, I went back to sleep, but it worked out okay. You know,
yeah.
I just figured.
We used to be able to do that. We all used to be able to sleep with the windows open, you know?
Yeah, I know.
But if you could put Clorox in those places or right next to you could put it by your one of the windows and close it so it's just smell on the outside.
Yeah.
But they don't like the smell of the cleanness. And they'll also avoid your neighbors if you do that also, because if you get a big whiff of Clorox, you're going to hear that same snort, but 100 times worse.
Really?
It's going to be like,
okay.
And also you can get a mirror.
Yeah.
That if you can get one that kind of fits your bedroom window or your mirrors or your window, face it outward, because they don't like seeing themselves either.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a good idea.
And you're going to hear that snort again. Now, this is to get you the confirmations that, yes, I mean, you do have them already, but these are also deterrences, but you're going to hear these deterrences working.
We have an extra little mirror that we were about to donate, and we'll bring that when we see you. It's better than nothing. They don't like to look at their own faces, so it's just good to put them in your windows.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
And your neighbors are not going to know anything about this, as far as some of these guys around here, they still think Bigfoot isn't real. So, I've
been walking these woods for 50 years and I ain't never seen nothing.
I know.
And that's kind of funny, because some people talk like that. But also with me, I've been here 55 years.
Right.
So I was like, well, I've been here too.
And I have seen something.
And I've seen Bigfoots, and I've seen bows, and I've seen the younger people, they don't know. So you couldn't be in a better spot to move if you had to have activity than having people who know what's going on in the same area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of people around here know what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of people around here who know.
If you ever have to call the law to get somebody there quickly, say prowler. There's a prowler, because a lot of them won't
They know
respond
Bigfoots are around
to
here.
Bigfoot
They
because
won't come out.
either they don't believe or
They know.
they know it's out there and they don't want to tangle with it either. So you say prowler, because at least them pulling up with their headlights on and is some sort of.
And always remember, there's more than one. They're a hunting group. They survive on not being seen and having the other one cover their back. So there's always more than one, and you're not in the only area. We did a documentary here in Antlers, and as far as the city parks, the Choctaw housing in the area, homes on the outside, outskirts of town, county line.
Outside the daycare is one of the biggest structures we've found. Yeah.
Places where local people go swimming that other people don't know.
Boneyards.
We found it everywhere. So the only thing that we can do right now, because everyone doesn't know, is deter from your area and protect you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're already getting a good start on it because you're aware, you know what's going on. You had asked in your message if it would make matters worse if we did anything to deter them.
Right now, everything is getting worse.
Yeah. And you're not doing anything, right?
They're getting closer. They're moving in. They're getting more comfortable, more confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we went through the same thing what you're going through right now, because once we moved into this area, moved back into this area, we had to start deterring right away.
And even when we go on a track and we come back, just that quick, boy, if they realize that you're going to be gone for a little bit, they start pushing back. It's just going to always be a maintenance thing. Just like we have to continually clean our homes, we have to continually secure our properties. At some point, they don't come around as much because it's just easier to go over here where the neighbor doesn't pay attention. There's lots of junk piled up and lots of, stuff to hide behind, and nobody notices them. Then it's going to be to cut through your yard, but they're still going to come back and test. It's just the way it is. Just like spiritually cleansing your house, the demons don't just quit forever coming back. They're going to come back and poke and test and see if they can find a break in the threshold.
Yeah.
And demons, they also can communicate with these things because they do have the demonic entities on some of them and inside of them. So demons talk to each other. So if we're talking with God and talking with Jesus, we have to always be that way. If we doubt, or even if we say, why Jesus, or if we say something like, I wish, and I don't want to put that out there, but if we do those things, these demons they'll know that we're faltering.
Any kind of assent.
And they'll come back and they'll test. They'll get that Bigfoot to knock on that door, leave a track or something. And it's just to bring you down, bring you down, bring you down, bring you down.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that your situation has is that there's a local business. We won't say what kind it is, but there is a local business, and it, the activity will attract predators too. These predators and spiritual predators also. So you don't have any control over that. It's just something that it's going to be an extra dose of spiritual warfare and prayer that you're going to have to put out there.
And there's some in California. We've tracked in Texas, Georgia, Colorado, Alabama, and North Carolina.
Every single state we've been to.
So they're everywhere. But all we can do right now is just deter from our areas. Oh, this system went down for a second, but all we can do is deter in our areas. But we also have to realize that they have a spider DNA, a spider predator DNA. We call it spider squatch DNA. That's why they don't have necks. That's why their arms are elongated. That's why they have the what's it called? Metatarsal break.
Right.
That's a joining between animal, spider, and man, or they're not people, but they're using the DNA to produce another predator. Just like if they was to eat a lot of dogs, they would produce a dog man. If they was to eat a lot of fowl, they would have something with 3 toes like a fowl and maybe a beak or even wings.
This is why everybody's so confused and everybody's trying to sort all these things out into subcategories. Well, good luck, because about the time you get that one figured out, it's going to mutate. Here's going to be one that's a cross between those two.
And the spider DNA is the only DNA that can do that.
It's the binding DNA, but it's an artificial binding. It's
Yeah,
a
it's not.
catch-in. It's a Frankenstein's monster. It's not a true fingerprint of God. God created this. It's an
Yeah.
abomination. This should not have been. It's the reason for the flood, are these kind of mutations and things that should never have been. The society's trying to convince you is your forest friend. And
Yeah,
it's
we've
just
watched
not.
Harry and the Hendersons too much. We've watched Bigfoot Daddy or whatever, and that's what they're
Bigfoot Daddy.
putting on the shows for the kids. And so we're growing up with thinking that
That's a good one.
there may be one that's good, there may be some that's good,
And they're
maybe.
not. It's just like the little demon saying, "Oh, don't be afraid of poor little me. I'm just the little girl that's just draw with me." And then the minute the kid's got this imaginary friend, and then down the road the child tells the
No.
little girl no about something, or I don't want to play with you today. Then the ugly comes out, and that's how it works. Yeah. So, have you gotten to the part of the mind protection technique yet?
Yes, I'm almost all the way done with the book. So
Oh,
the mind
good.
protection I've actually been doing because I found out, I told you I was involved with researching all the targeted individual stuff because I had weird things going on. And so I found out by accident how to do that by becoming, in that community and going to church. I started going to church every Sunday. Now I was raised Christian, but we were like the television Christian. Like my dad always had Christian television on, and he talked about God, but we didn't go to church. So I knew of God, but I didn't know anything about God really, and other than just what was on TV. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so when all this weird stuff started happening to me and everything, I ended up going to church and started going every Sunday. And I would go and I would sing the hymns. And I started feeling like when I sung the hymns, a lot of the negative feeling was going away from my life. And so, I was going every weekend. If I missed a weekend, I'd start feeling bad again. I would start feeling like I was oppressed and not depressed, but how you get down where you're just like, I'm not going to do anything today because it's not going to make a difference, not motivated, I would say. It's like getting unmotivated. So I started feeling like that. So I was like, no, I have to keep going to church because every time I miss, I feel something happening that is kind of out there. Like I didn't know about spiritual warfare back then. I just knew that I felt different. And so over the years of going to church every Sunday, I realized eventually that a lot of the mean things that people had been saying to me were not people. I started discerning the devils. And so I learned those mean things those people are saying that's not that person. That is a demonic spirit who's trying to bring me down. And so I started getting so able to discern what was going on that it brought the joy back to my life. They talk about the Holy Spirit brings the love and the joy and all this stuff and everything. Right. Well, it set me free is what it did. It set me free from thinking people hated me to thinking people are demonically possessed. The demons are walking inside the people, talking to me, and then walking out. So it was a long journey, but basically what I learned was the more I talked about God, the more I sung to God, the more I prayed, the more I read the Bible, the more I was around good company, the less the devils affected me. So no matter what they would say or do, it didn't matter anymore. It didn't matter because I had a network, I had a church, I had people, good people to be around. All of it just like made me much stronger. And so I learned through that, like, well, if that helped me get rid of a lot of this demonic stuff coming at me through people, then I must do more. You know, I must learn everything about this. And so I started searching, you know, those like exorcism videos, and everything was making sense. I'm like, oh yes, these are devils. And then I would research like the prayers that you're supposed to do, what are they called, like deliverance prayers and things like that. So yeah, I got really into that. And then I got into holy objects, having things blessed, having the priest bless my house, getting the holy water, like everything almost. I've been down like the whole road. And so that was one of the things that I learned. And what's interesting that we met, and we haven't met in person yet, but the really interesting thing is that right before I found out about Bigfoot, I was sitting here in the chair I'm in right now, and I was kind of bored, and I was kind of thinking I need something to research, because I always research stuff, and I ran out of topics, and I was like, okay, God, what is next? And that's when that weird stuff, it was like, I want to say it was like the next day, but I'm not sure. It might have been like within a week or something after I told God, like, what is next? This thing came in, and I was like, whoa, this blew me away. Like hearing about the Bigfoot, and then now reading your book and hearing how it's all connected to the demons, and it's mind blowing, but I know it's true because I've experienced it myself. I mean, I know about possessions. I know even animals can get possessed. I mean, I've seen I've seen a demon walk into my dog. That's how bad it is. And so, you know, I know this stuff happens, you know, and that's why when you explain to me what the Bigfoot is out there doing, I can tell you who's doing it. It's the devils through that beast. You know, maybe it's not just the DNA. You know, like, it's like a human. Humans have similar DNA. Some humans are good, but some humans turn demonic. I think it's the same way, except for, you know, all of the Bigfoot are being demonized for warfare, basically, is what it is. They're demonizing them for warfare. So they're all, like you said, you can't trust any of them because there are no good ones if they're all being used. So, yeah, it's kind of like that. And, so I definitely see, you know, behind the veil, or whatever you want to call it, you know, what's really going on, and how we do have to be custodians of our own mind. You know, we have to control our thoughts. We have to control what we say, what we think, what we do. Our whole life has to be, you know, geared towards doing God's will, because that's what gets rid of them. You know, that's what gets rid of all this stuff. So I learned by accident, but yeah, I'm right there with you. I know we have to take custody of our own brains.
Yeah. Well put.
And it's okay to leave the light on. Actually, your pets would really appreciate that. Also, you can play songs, church songs, inside your house whenever possible. I mean, anytime's good, but the demonic entities don't like that either. They'd rather be outside. Also, you can keep the animals in the room that you're sleeping with. Kind of give it a quick swish out with some towels or a broom. Just swish it all the way to the door. Have your animals in there. Do that, and also underneath your bed, because some of these things will go underneath your bed, and you can put a little towel underneath that door once you do that and have your animals in there. I can guarantee you those animals will have the best night's sleep they've had, or they're going to alert you. They're going to tell you there's something in this room, or we also have to pay attention, because if they're looking at the wall, they know something's behind that wall. We think that that RV wall, or we think even this sheetrock is a lot, but it's not. These animals can still smell each other through it.
Mm-hmm.
So also, if you can get a car alarm, that will help where you don't have to go outside if you hear anything, hit that car alarm. These animals will also leave, they'll use animals to make you think that whenever they bump something, that when you come outside, it'll be the neighbor's cat, or it'll be a mouse, or it'll be a raccoon or something. But they will use these, and they will use that dog food and things like that to feed raccoons and possums, just so that there's a reason if they ever do make noise out there. You're thinking, no, that's that raccoon I seen yesterday, or that's that possum. Right now, though, if you can get everyone to stay together, I'm talking about your pets. Keep everyone together right now until we can get more deterrences going.
Don't let anything be isolated.
Yeah, no isolation.
No, I don't leave them outside. I don't leave them outside. No, they're always inside. And I'm actually, I'm disabled from a lot of the stuff that was going on. I was telling you about, like, all the oppression and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have, like, PTSD from, like, all the stuff I've been through. But I'm still, I'm a warrior now, so I'm struggling out of it. But yeah, I'm disabled, so I'm home all the time.
Okay.
So the good thing is, and we don't want to leave this place alone. Like, we never leave it alone. Like, if she goes out, I stay home.
Good.
We don't leave the place alone. So the animals are all inside, and I'm, like, vigilant. So it's like, I'm not letting anybody out anymore. And the dog comes in at night,
Good.
He just stays kind of like around. So yeah, we got that under control. So that's good. But the chickens, I can't bring in. The chickens got
yeah. Yeah, we the best thing for that is just making sure it's as secure as possible. And if you can use a padlock instead of like a turn, with a wood kind of turn thing. Because a Bigfoot will turn that and open that door up and reach in there. And then, but once they're eating that chicken, they're going to leave feathers there. And in the morning, they're going to have a raccoon waiting for you. So that you're thinking a raccoon got my chicken. So.
I gotcha. Okay. So put padlock on there. Yeah, right now I have it like, I have the little turn things like you say, but then I also put a sleeping bag. I put trash bags plus a sleeping bag plus the little trampoline stabilizer that like bolts it to the floor because I didn't want them to blow away. With a tornado, of course they move anyways, but like big winds. So I put that all together. So it takes quite a bit, and I figured anything trying to get in there, the dog's gonna bark before they succeed. If they're trying to just get sneaky. I mean, of course, he could just pick up the whole thing anyway. But if they're trying to be sneaky about it, they're not gonna really get there, I don't think. So hopefully that will keep them from even trying. It's too many steps. I know they're probably smart, but it's kind of too many steps for him to get through without having the dog go crazy.
Yeah,
we're right now we're just needing to discourage these things and making them think that you're too much of a problem to bother with. We want them staying out in the forest with whatever they're doing out there, and we can't help the neighbors unless they're on board with, and they may be with disturbances and things like that, and the horses going crazy. So
yeah, because didn't you say you heard a bunch of shooting? Wasn't that you? You recently heard a lot of shooting.
Yeah, and when I was hearing all these coyotes and stuff, I would hear the horses going crazy, and I was thinking, like, who's letting the coyotes get that close? And I never seen coyotes like go attack a horse. I don't know if they do, and I didn't know about Bigfoot back then, so I don't know. I didn't know what was going on, but yeah, the horses go nuts, and then every dog for miles would bark all night long. And I'm just like, okay, this is like overkill. This is way beyond just coyotes.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was a mountain lion. I could have sworn I heard a mountain lion. I was like, I think I heard a mountain lion. You know, and I'm trying to figure out all the noises, but it was beyond. It was beyond a coyote because the dogs never stop barking, which, you know, coyotes, they usually stop after a while. And then the horses were just whinnying, going crazy. And in fact, one horse today had some kind of problem in that stream I was telling you about where I heard the growling because I heard the horse like go crazy and my dog was barking at the same time. So something happened over there, but I didn't go look. But yeah, then after that, like just the other day, we heard shooting, you know, and my friend was like, what's that? And I'm like, well, we're in the rural area. All the people, you know, have a right to shoot. They can shoot everything if they want, you know, target practice. So I just assumed that, but he was walking around, shooting. And I'm not really that shy, but I just haven't had a chance. I've been so busy getting my life back together that I haven't had a chance to like go over there and like introduce myself, you know. So I don't know what he was shooting at. But he was definitely walking around shooting everything. And she says, yeah, he's done that before. And I was like, okay, good, because the shooting is good for the Bigfoot to hear, you know, like, you know, maybe this isn't a place to stay.
Right.
Also, the dogs will tell you what direction that they're coming in each night.
Really?
You'll listen for the furthest dog, and then you'll be able to pinpoint their direction because that the furthest dog that you hear is the direction that they're coming in because they're the first to spot it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Also, if you want to know where the ravens are and where the Bigfoots will be more secure, go outside when it's kind of quiet and cough really loud at least one time. There's going to be a crow that's going to call, and it's going to start flying. It's going to start looking for that cough. So wait at least 30 seconds and cough again real loud. And that one crow will alert to the rest of the crows, and you're going to hear them all go off in the distance. And that's where the Bigfoots are more, that's their feeding grounds. That's where they're more safe. And it's not going to be on your property. It's going to be on the one that no one goes to or hasn't been used in a long time.
Probably the backside of that pond. I'm going to go through real quick, just name the topic and the page number for anybody that wants to look it up, because we know you have the book. These are things that you had talked about tonight that we address in the book, some of them. The lingering mist, the fog, page 75, they can read about that. Sometimes the fog is not a natural fog. It's an unnatural fog. It'll string up and pull up. And those are entities that use the cover of the fog and create fog. We learned the difference, and that starts on page 75 of the book. The pond, that's the area we talk about waterways, page 176 of the book. If you had to start in one direction to find tracks, the waterway is always the best place to start. The mind protection technique, which is closing off your mind completely. It's different from prayer. Prayer is you're having a conversation with the Most High. That's prayer. You're talking to God. But in the mind protection technique, for those that don't know, it's completely stilling your mind altogether. You direct your body where you need to go, and you seal it off. So there's no inner dialogue. There's no conversation with God. There's absolutely nothing but silence. And that way you know that anything intruding is not supposed to be there. You've given your body the direction where it needs to go. Like, say you're getting disoriented, you go out there by the pond and you're just feeling kind of funny and maybe turned around and you were headed towards the pond, but now you're headed away from the pond. What's going on? That's when you would do the mind protection technique. You tell your body, get me back to the house. And then you seal off everything. So there's just complete silence, and that'll get you back home. It's different from prayer, and it's different from yoga. Yoga means you just open it, or in meditation, you're just opening yourself up to whatever's out there. We don't recommend that. That's a different kind of meditation.
Yeah.
The blinds and the hides are on page 127 of the book for several pages. The blurs, you talked about a blur. We'll find that under appearances, but I didn't write the page down, but I believe that's under appearances. We talked about out of the corner of your eye. Shadow language starts on page 107 of the book. That's where we learn to discern the shadows by looking deeply into them. That's going to be the first place to look. When you walk out your door and you look for the darkest area out there, that's that deep shadow. That's going to be one of their main places to try to hide or build a blind. Pets and livestock, how to take care of them and protect them, is page 154 of the book. And the X near the pond, X's and other structures start on page 145 of the book. I want to go back to your comment where it said God hates you. And one of two things is happening there. The demon would absolutely say that because it's a lie, and they want you to think that God hates you when God, really, they're angry. They hate God because God loves you and us, all his children.
Yeah,
Or
the actual sentence I heard, what I heard was God wants to kill me.
Wants to kill you.
But not me. He was saying God wants to kill him.
God wants to kill him.
Yes, and that's why it was so clear, like in perfect English, that I heard it as I was thinking of if these creatures are, are they part of God's creation? Are they a part of something that should exist? Like I'm trying to contemplate that, which I now know, like you guys are saying, like, know that this is definitely an abomination. But at that time, I didn't know that. And so I was wondering what it was. And that's when that thought came in my mind. It says, God wants to kill me. And it wasn't me he was talking about himself.
Oh, like one of them saying that God wants to kill them?
Yes, because originally, when I found you guys, I saw your profile, and I thought it was cool. He says, you're hunting God's enemies, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to do that too. I was lighthearted about it. I wasn't thinking, too deeply about it, but I had been thinking about that, like, is this something, that is God's enemy, or is it not? And that, I think, is what prompted this creature to insert a thought in my mind that God wanted to kill him. He's probably trying to get my sympathy, I think that's probably what it is, because he knows I'm a nice person, probably like, oh, we'll try to get her sympathy, So, yeah, and, but I know more now because you told me, more things now. So now I know more, that he's probably just trying to trick me.
Yeah.
Also, some of these Bigfoots, when they get gifted, they kind of think that they are gods. So they will use that term like they're a god themselves, because people give them foods, and they may be gifted somewhere else, and they're checking your area out too. So.
And so we want to avoid in the future any kind of saying like, it would be like saying, and I know you'll understand this, it would be like saying to a demon, you would do better if you go over here. Be very careful about the phrases. You don't want them to think that you have a concern for their welfare, because you wouldn't with a demon. It would be like, you just go. Just go.
Just like a rebuke.
Yeah. You don't want them to think you care about them and try to establish it. Use that as some sort of assent. You see?
Yeah.
So we don't want to go outside and say, like, when we see people do this a whole lot, and not saying that you do this, but we see people, they'll go out there into the woods and they'll say, I'm just here to go pick these mushrooms and I'll be out of your way here. No, because God created the garden, and then he gave man dominion over it, to ask them to be caretaker over it. There's nowhere in there where Adam had to go ask for permission. You see what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
because it's not theirs. It's God. So in doing that, it's sort of an appeasement or an acknowledging, like it'd be like going to a town that's run by a bunch of drug lords, and you go and talk to the gang, and you say, "Look, I'm just here to do this or that." You're kind of saying, "Okay, I recognize that this is your place and all that, but let me just cut through this alleyway," kind of thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't give them a reason to connect. You know, like if
Yeah.
we just stop the conversation is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Also, we have to be aware of owls and bird chirps and single bird chirps, single coyotes, single owls, but they can be in different places. It's not that the owl went from one place to another. It's that this other Bigfoot over there is mimicking like another owl, or a bird chirp at night. It's not like bird songs. It's just a chirp
Like a little alarm.
that you'll hear out there. But those are predator Bigfoots mimicking out there also.
But we are
Really?
we're coming up on almost 3 hours, and we're gonna also we're not finished with you at all. We'll be meeting with you hopefully this weekend, and we'll get a hold of you. Is there any? We'll run through chat and see if anybody's got any questions for you, if that's all right with you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And we just couldn't be more proud of you already, and we haven't even met you.
Yeah.
Thank
You know.
I'm trying real hard. That's one thing I always do. I try.
We love talking to somebody that's loves to learn and has strong faith. That's nice to see.
So we're going to go through the comments real fast and look for questions for you. And also to the viewers, if you do have questions, now would be the time to put them in, and we will get to those.
Put them in all caps. It'll be easier for us not to scroll past.
Okay, so we're going to run through here. There's
Further.
okay, that's when Jennifer came on. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
Who is this?
This is G Van Zandt is back. Hello.
All right, G Van Zandt
I
is
like that
here.
name.
He can hear well. Everybody saying hello to him. He said, appreciative War Chief. Lone Star Supernatural.
Hey, Lone Star
Is that
Supernatural.
a new name?
Wait a minute. Didn't we meet you? Did we meet you? Did we meet you at the powwow? Is that you guys? Hello,
Oh,
regardless.
hey, if
Even
that
if it isn't you,
is-
but if that is you, it's great to hear from you. Either
Yeah,
way.
if it is, great hearing
But if it
from
is,
you.
we know who we're talking to.
Hermano Hector.
Hey,
Hola, ¿cómo
Hermano.
está? This is
Hermano
Brother
Hector.
Oh, Hector. Hector from Chile? Yo pienso?
Oh, wow. This is
Oh.
Brother Heck. Yes. Change my name to Spanish. Hey, Brother Heck, who
Hola.
is on the mend, and we're very happy to hear that. Thank you, Lord.
Let's
Glad
see.
you're here. Junior says, what do you say?
Oh, I was looking for questions.
Oh, we're looking for questions.
Let's see. Do you have questions for the guest, Lone Star Supernatural? War Chief is letting everyone know that we'll ask at the end. Judith is here. Pineda.
Pinata?
Pinata?
We're not sure how to
Judith?
say your last name, but we're glad you're here. Hola, Judith.
Hola, Judith.
Junior says, amazing study tonight. Thank you.
Let's see. Everybody saying hi to each other. What's that say? PRT chat? What's that? I don't know.
PRT chat.
Pro Rodeo Television.
Lone Star Supernatural.
No, I don't know.
PRT chat. No.
PRT. Not at the powwow. If you met me at the powwow, my kids would have been
Oh,
there.
okay. Because
Oh.
we met someone with a
2 kids.
that had a supernatural channel or paranormal channel, and we thought that might have been you.
Shanna is saying, thank you, Jennifer. We have a lot in common.
Mm.
And Shauna does have a lot in common with you, Jennifer, and it'd be great to, well, actually, it's great that everybody's together now.
Lone Star Supernatural says paranormal roundtable chat. You heard us in chat, or what? Not sure what you.
Maybe
We might have
maybe
missed a comment up there.
Okay. Well,
go ahead and get your questions in. Last chance.
Yeah, let's get some questions in if you have any. Pretty good crowd tonight. They're just listening, and that's good. That's good.
Great crowd, and we know that y'all got to be impressed with Jennifer too, to go from zero knowledge of what's going on to being out there spotting exactly what's up, knowing what's up. Very proud of her. And
I would say she's getting above some of the top researchers already with just the information she has.
Yeah.
Some of those researchers, they need the book themselves.
War Chief, we're not going to go political.
Lone Star says, I don't have any for the guests, just you and Jerry, but I can ask later. Okay. And War Chief
no
says,
problem, Lone Star.
Is Jennifer glad to be away from
Gavin Newsom?
What's that?
That's the governor.
Oh.
California, I feel bad for California. There's so many problems, but it's the same stuff. I'm telling you, it's all connected.
It is.
People are going to be really shocked when they find out, if they ever find out, how Bigfoot is connected to the politics and what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
In the military, they call them assets, and some private people have these things, and they're called assets.
And you are right about that. They are being used also. So there's the original
the wild
predators.
Ones.
Then there's the ones manipulated by DNA. Then you have the weaponized ones by the military and just in general psychotics running the world.
Yep.
And some of them are mixed with Nephilim DNA.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts.
There's so much going on. That's why, in a way, everybody's right and everybody's wrong, because they're trying to fit it all into these individual little boxes, but it is all connected. Mm-hmm. Jeremy says, I'm still here and learning. Thanks to the guest, and thank you to Jerry and Lee Tracker E. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Junior Warriors out there in California, too. Okay. I guess no questions then. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll say our prayer, and
we're going to see you very soon.
Yes, we will. We're looking forward to meeting you and looking forward to getting out there and just making a plan.
Yeah, same here.
Are there any last things that you want to say, Jennifer?
Yeah, for anyone, the guest?
No, thanks for listening, and just keep your eyes peeled and keep your spiritual warfare really solid. Get rid of every sin you have. Repent and don't return to it, because that's how these devils get you. Mm-hmm. I see them. They're destroying the world through sin, which proves even further how true the Bible really is, because it proves that sin does destroy. So now we know why God doesn't want us to sin. It's not because he wants to be a tyrant. It's because he loves us so much that he gets angry when we sin, because we destroy ourselves. So just keep that up. Get rid of everything that is not serving God and just focus on God, because it looks like we're really entering like the end, the final run, if you want to say it that way, the final stages of, the end or the new beginning, whatever way you want to think about it. But it's a very, very dangerous time right now. So I'm telling everybody, return to God and make sure that you're saying, you're in a right relationship, because you want to make sure if Jesus returns that you're ready,
Really well put. Thank you very much. You're a wonderful guest, and we're looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. I can't wait.
We'll go ahead and we'll say hi real quick to Katie Seal, who just came in the room, and then we'll go ahead and say our prayer. Thank you, everyone that was here tonight. Father, we thank you
guys
for your mighty hand of covering over all of us. We just thank you. I mean, you're doing the work, Lord. Thank you for letting us be here for the ride. Thank you for letting us be here for the journey, for the, the path that you have us on. And thank you for helping us work out all the kinks. We know that you go ahead of us all, and we pray that we all listen and just hear the right words and follow them the correct way. We love you, Lord, and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Hey, also, Jennifer, at these times that we are in, we have to realize that we're the ones here.
Yep.
Yeah, we were built for this time.
We're built for this.
Yep, I know. I keep looking around. Where's my parents? They're supposed to handle this, but it's not. It's us.
It's us. That's right. That's us. It's us. And we're all going to do this together.
Thank you, everyone that's in the room tonight, and thank you to our guest. And everyone says amen, and we'll go ahead and let everyone go.
Okay, amen.
And we'll come back with an update soon on Jennifer.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, Jennifer.
Okay, good night.
Night, warrior. so beautiful.
Are William's boots good?
It's so weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer.